Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the fourth round of the Rugby Championship. It is flying by, and we are already here at round 4. There are only going to be a total of 3 rounds left, including this one, which we have got 2 very good encounters coming up. We have got the Springboks taking on the Wallabies for the rematch of last week's game, which was 28-26 points in the favour of the Wallabies, and then the game a little bit later on tonight at 10:05 p.m. New Zealand time. It is going to be the All Blacks taking on Argentina. But I hope you are all doing well. We have got Elijah in there. We have got Stanley Live Starts. And also we have got Johnny Blaze here for a little bit of a pre-match show that we are going to be doing on this channel. But if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We have got Jason and also Luke tuning in at these early stages as well. As you can see, I have got just the mustache. It was the forfeit last week. I decided to say if the Springboks did lose that match last week, had to get rid of the beard that I did have growing. So it is gone, and we have just got the mustache here for this live stream between the two sides, and what a match it's going to be. These two sides just went at it last week. We saw a lot of physical rugby, but then a lot of kicking as well, which we will talk about a little bit on our preview of this matchup that is coming up just around the corner. We have got, I can see your chin, big and boo as well, says Johnny Blaze. It feels so weird. I've had the beard for a little while, so to now have it just clean shaven doesn't feel right, you know. It feels like something's missing, I guess you could say, on my face. But yeah, at this stage we will look through some starting lines. But first of all, we should thank the sponsor of this live stream. We have got ourselves a sponsor for this one, and it is Manscaped. They have been sponsoring us for just this live stream. But if you do want to pick yourself up a Lawnmower 4.0, it is a pinned comment, and it is the link to the Manscaped website, and you will be able to get yourself 20% off and free shipping for the Manscaped whole website as well, not just for the Lawnmower 4.0, which is a nifty little tool that comes in this box. We will have a little bit of a halftime show that we will be talking about that a little bit more on the live stream at a later date. But yeah, be sure to use that code at manscaped.com. It is the code Kiwi Lads, which is all capitals, no space. I've had a shocker for my first ever promo, that is for sure. But hopefully it gets better as we get through a little bit more. Should have done the Tasman game as well. Says, look, I did see that they ended up running away with it at the end, Tasman. It looked very close at the start, but now we are in the situation of the Tasman side getting the win by about 20 points, or maybe even upwards of that. We have got Hey Hamish as well, says it Voot, and also we have got First, says Crazy and said, and you should suit the stash, bro. Looking slick as well, says Johnny Blaze, and with the suit as well. I feel like it's a little bit of an overkill, but maybe, you know, I can just go to a wedding if I need to. If it was just around the corner, we have got good morning from South Africa. Good to see you all as well, says Road Rat. Welcome into the live stream, mate. And it's great to see you guys so early on this live stream. We are currently only sitting around about 40 or so minutes from kickoff, which sounds like a long time, but it flies by with you guys in the chat. And also, we are going to be in that situation and talking through all things to do with these two sides, including the starting lineups and reserves. We will start with the home side in this match, and that is the Wallabies. And they have made a few changes from their last match. I'm going to lean over to the side once again. I feel like I need to get away of just being able to teleport to that side in that situation. But looking at the front row, James Slipper going to be starting at number 1 rather than Angus Balfour. Still starting at 2, and Taniela Tupou, the Tongan Thor, going to be starting at 3 for this match. He was off the bench in the last one, but they have decided to give him the start up against the returning Trevor Nakanye. Looking through the locks and also the loose forwards, everyone is going to be the same as they were last week. It is Isaac Rodder at 4, Matt Phillip 5, then Lockie Swinton had a physical game up against the Box last week. Michael Hooper at 7, always very talented out there, Michael Hooper, and then Rob Valentini going to be starting in the number 8 jersey. And he actually made quite a few meters for the Wallabies in that last match. Nick White has also got the start at number 9. That is replacing Tate McDermott, who will be coming off the bench. A lot of people are saying that he is in some very good form at the moment, Nick White. So you'll have to wait and see whether or not he does have a decent game in this one as well. Quade Cooper, the man of the hour, the man of the week for the Wallabies. Quade Cooper going to be starting at number 10. That is almost as many kicks as he got over last week, 8 from 8, to be able to get them a big old win there for the Wallabies. And Samu Karevi going to be starting at 12 for this match, who is a very decent player, also making quite a few meters. I believe he made around that 40-something mark, but had 17 carries in that last match as well, so was very busy throughout the early stages and late stages of that game last week. Then Len Ikitau going to be starting at 13 on one wing. Marika Korombedi loves a bit of a run, that man. And then Andrew Callaway loves himself a try. He's been able to score in quite a few of these matches of the Rugby Championship so far. He scored up against the Springboks. He scored up against the All Blacks as well. And he will be able to add another one to that try tally in this match up against the mighty Box. Then Tom Banks going to be starting in that number 15 jersey. I will read your chat, and there is plenty of it at the moment. We have got Hey Bro from Crypto. Also, we have got there, shout out to Manscaped as well, says Paulie B. Indeed. If you do want to check it out, it is the pin comment there We'll take you to take you to manscaped.com, and it will be the code Kiwi Lads to get you 20% off plus free shipping. Hi there as well, says Brandon. And also we've got from Isaac, and hey Kiwi Lads, we can kick off for this one. It is going to be 7:05 that this match is going to be taking place. And then 10:05 will be the match after, and that will be between the All Blacks and the Pumas, who you're cheering for as well. Says Elijah, I love to sit on the middle and sit on the fence for these games because they are always so entertaining. No matter who you are looking at in these games, no matter who you support, you know it's going to be a good game of rugby because these two sides, they are physical, they are fast-paced, and they will be hoping to get themselves a massive win in this one because the Rugby Championship is on the line. Before we look at the Springboks starting lineup, let's have a look at the table. And as we can see here, the All Blacks are sitting in first on 15 points with a points differential of plus 91. Then it is the Springboks. They were able to get that losing bonus point last week, which did get them into the situation of it being on 10 points with a points differential of plus 37. Then Australia, they were able to get their first win of the Rugby Championship. Their first points also sitting on 4 points with a points differential of minus 50. And then the Pumas, they are still yet to get a point, but they will be hopeful to be able to get one up against the All Blacks in the game a little bit later on with a points differential of a minus 78. As we can see, you get 4 points for the win. So the Springboks, they will want nothing less than that 4 points. They would even love themselves 5 perhaps to be able to score score 3 or more tries in their opposition. They almost did it last week. They had 3 tries to the 1 of the Wallabies there. We will look through the look through the Springboks starting lineup as well. But we have got all people in the chat. We have what's got there in the chat from Kyle. Welcome into the live stream, mate. And we have what's got there Johnny Blaze as well. How long to the game? We are sitting at currently only around 40 minutes. In fact, it's less than 40 minutes, I believe, till kickoff, which is very good news because I am hyped for this game. And I know it's going to be a good one between these two sides. We saw the physicality of both of these outfits last week. And we saw an interesting situation happening in terms of Quade Cooper just calm and collected, I should say, to be able to slot over as many kicks as he did. We saw Pollard not so much last week, but we know that it's going to be a different story this week for him. We have also got there in the chat as well. Smash that like button, says Johnny Blaze. Tell you what, last week we were able to hit 100 likes before kickoff. Can we do the same for this one? We are sitting on 32 at the moment, so if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like. We have also got there, love the moustache as well, says Vaega. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. But thank you very much, mate. Do appreciate it. It was the forfeit because of the fact that the Springboks, they won the match last week. So because of that, it did mean that I had to get myself the mighty mustache. But at this stage, it's not as good as Nick White's, but we're working on it. Looking through the starting lineup, though, you would say it is a very strong one for the Springboks. And they have decided to back pretty much the same side that they used last week, which tells you they know that this group of men can get the win. They just need to make sure that they put it together in this match and they do get themselves those points on the ball. We have got Trevor Nakania at number 1, just the one change in terms of that front row, and it was Stephen Kitsoff last week. Instead, now he's going to be coming off the bench, and that is very strategic because of the fact that it was last week that the scrum let them down in the later stages of this game with Oxnashare just not quite able to scrummage up against Big Taniela Tupou. So Trevor Nakania getting his first start in a wee while as well at number 1. Bungyum Banambi scoring a try last week off the rolling maul, which is something that the Springboks will continue to go to in this match as well. And then Franz Maharba going to be starting at number 3. Ebenezabeth in the number 4 jersey. I said he was going to be a game changer last week. Hardly saw him, unfortunately. But this week, I think it's going to be a little bit different as well. We have got Marvin Ori starting at 5. His second start for the Springboks. His first start was actually in the number 4 jersey, replacing Etzebeth when he was having a rest a few weeks ago. So he's going to be alongside Etzebeth. That is replacing Lud Diago, who is injured, unfortunately, but he will be back for the All Blacks, rumour has it. So hopefully he is back and rearing to go for that game up against the All Blacks there. Then at number 6, Sia Khaleesi got a yellow card last week, but will want to move past that. He is the captain of the Springboks and will be hoping for a captain's performance. Franco Moster in form at the moment at number 7. Very good in a line-out, very good when it comes to the tackling stats as well throughout a match. And then Dwayne Vermeulen, recently returning from his injury, is going to now have the opportunity at number 8 once again to have a decent game. We have got Faf de Klerk. Now that man, he may want to forget about last week a little bit. He did a huge amount of kicks. I have got all of the statistics here that we will be going through in a short moment, but he is a very talented player, Faf de Klerk, and he will be able to have a very good game at number 9. Pollard also probably wants to forget last week a little bit, but he's got that kicking game that normally can win them games. So we're going to have to wait and see whether or not that will be the case at Suncorp Stadium. I haven't mentioned the venue yet, but it is at Suncorp, and it's going to be a match and a half because the Springboks, they haven't won at Suncorp in a very long time up against the Wallabies. The Wallabies, they have not lost at Suncorp since 2016. It is well and truly built up to being a great match for this one. Damien Delende, Lucanio once again making up the midfield. It's going to be Makazole Mapimpi out on the left wing, and then out on the right wing, it will be Sibu Nkosi. And the big thing there is the fact that we didn't really get to see too much of Nkosi or Mapimpi in last week's game. Unfortunately, it did end up in that situation of neither of them really getting much ball in hand. So now it's going to be important to make sure that they do get enough of it in this one, because Mapimpi, when he got a decent opportunity, Makazole Mapimpi, he was able to beat 2 defenders, and also in this situation, he was also able to take 1 or 2 high balls, but just not enough for them to be consistent in this one. And then Willie LaRue also getting a yellow card last week, but he is going to be starting at number 15. Now we have got there, which team are you cheering for as well, says Elijah. I'm down the middle for this game as well. Where's Cheslin Colby? He is still actually injured at this stage, so he is not going to get an opportunity in this game, but apparently he might be back for the second game up against the All Blacks as well. I have seen that we have got on my phone from George as well. I think the restrictions may make it a little bit tougher, George, because of the fact that they might be a little bit harsh in terms of the fact that we would have quite a few people watching, but maybe for the All Blacks Argentina might be the smarter one to do that one on. In that regard, we have also got there, go the box as well, says Paul, and also we have got there, go Wallabies, says Moy Slayer, and also everyone liked the video, says Elijah, but nonetheless, we will look through the reserves, I should say, and they have got some very good players. Once again, South Africa going with the 6-2 split, deciding that that is their best option to be able to get the win in this one. So it does mean that they have got Maka van Staden and also Kwaka Smith and Jasper Visa going to be the 3 replacement loose forwards that they have decided to go with. Malcolm Marx scoring 2 tries last week, absolutely phenomenal player, and he will be able to do the same in this week's game. Stephen Kitsoff at 17, the only change on the bench. He was in the starting lineup last week, and then the other change, there are none. Unfortunately for the South African side, they have got everyone else the same, but the first change for Australia is Angus Bell starting at number 17. Tom Robertson going to be starting at 18 for this one as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that replacement pack of the Wallabies does up against such a strong South African outfit, because they have also got Darcy Swain as the other change that they have decided to make for this match. And then Tate McDermott, Reece Hodge, Jordan Patai are going to be the replacements on the rest of the bench for the backs as well. We have also got there Cher Hamish from McKenna, and also Bok from Jury, and also in there, did the ball get past Pollard via the hand, asking for a friend, says John. It did not very often. I will be honest, I looked through some stats. Makazole Mapimpi, he touched the ball once. I believe Nkosi touched it twice. And it is just that situation of they just didn't get the ball enough out on those wings. Predictions, please, mate, says Rowan. I'm saying I always go with a little bit of an even split. I say that it will either be in the situation of, I will say it's going to be the Springboks by 8 or the Wallabies by 3 is the prediction there. I don't actually think that's the same prediction as I gave a little bit earlier on in the week. So it's a little bit tricky in that regard to be able to guess for this match. But do let me know your score predictions in the chat as well. And if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And we have got there in the chat, hey man, remember me, I will watch both All Blacks and this one as well, says Riley. Do appreciate that a lot, mate. And hey, we are lower lockdown level 2, and it's just work as well, says Quack in there. And we have got, can you read my messages as well, says that we have got there in the chat from Brandon. Tell you what, the way that it is going at the moment, it will be very hard to be able to keep up with all the messages that will be coming throughout this live stream. We have got Welsh Union, New Zealand Union, South African Union, all good, but not Aussie Union as well. From that was Mark a little bit earlier on. I thought that was Brandon's message. Tell you what, Brandon, I can't actually find your message. It is going by a little bit too quick. Wallabies fall back looks huge. They have actually got the weight advantage in this one, the Wallabies fall back, which is a difference from the last match. They were about 40 kgs lighter in the last match, but now they have got the weight pack advantage. I believe it is sitting around 913 kgs for the Springboks, 914 for the Wallabies. Another stat that I want to mention that I did mention on my preview a little bit earlier on is the kicking game. We all know that they kicked the ball quite a bit in that first half, the Springboks, but no one really knows exactly how many times they did retain and kind of lose the ball. So I have got the stats here that I did do for myself in the first half, looking through the amount of kicks that they did. The South African side, this is not just Buck de Klerk, this is also Andre Pollard. They were able to retain the kick 3 times, including 2 times that it either bounced or the ball was loose and they were able to dive on it. There was only 1 clean take in that first half, and that was Sibu Nkosi when he was able to take the ball over the top of Marika Korombeti. So other than that, though, there were a few other times, 3 times they kicked for territory, and that did work out for them. The ball went into touch, but then there were 10 times in that first half that they did not get that kick right, and it went into the hands of the Wallabies. And that is too much possession to be given away, because we saw when the Wallabies get an opportunity, they can make you pay. They were able to score 1 try, which isn't a huge amount, but they were able to get penalty after penalty, and that is what happens when you give a side so much possession. It just means that you won't be able to get into that situation of being able to really hang on to the ball. 66% of the possession went the way of the Wallabies at half-time. So if the Springboks kicked this ball away a little bit less, we saw they were able to score 3 tries when they had that possession, even though at the end of the game, I believe they only had 43% of it throughout the whole match. So that will be a stat that they want to look at and look to improve. As well, All Black supporter here have a feeling Australia will win by 8, as well, says William Brown. And also we have got a few other predictions in there. Hi, Katie, as well, says I reckon I'll okay from Quick as well. Box need to have or have to keep their discipline. And yeah, I believe there were a lot of penalties, 28 to be exact in that last match. Was the situation of 17 against the Wallabies and also 11 against the Springboks. So both sides are probably going to be looking at how they can improve in this game and making sure that they don't give away those early penalties that can give a side a nice bit of momentum. We saw it in the game. It's a weird example, but it's the Gallagher Premiership. We saw it last night. Bristol Bears taking on Saracens at the start of the second half. It was actually Bristol Bears. They had given away 6 points worth of penalties after about 4 minutes, and it was tied at halftime. And from there, Saracens ran away with that game. So they need to be careful not to give away too many early penalties, or it can cost them. And this one we have got there in the chat. Springbok's going to make a comeback as well, says the Dwubs. And also you shaved the beard, bro, as well, says McKenna. I did indeed, because of the fact I did say last week, if the Springboks lost that match, I would end up shaving. And the weird thing about it was the fact that I said it before the game, not expecting that it would actually happen. So it's kind of an interesting situation, because now I have got a bare face, other than, of course, this caterpillar sitting on my lip, which reminds me a little bit of Nick White, other than the fact that it's just not quite as good, unfortunately. And we almost got there Gideon and said, love the suit. Good to see such professionalism. As you guys know, anytime there is a massive match on, we get the suit out because it's got a big match feel. We've got the black tie today. We had the blue one last week for Argentina. Unfortunately, they lost 39-0, so it didn't quite help them out, unfortunately. And we almost got there shaved, or the cat licked some spilt milk, spilt milk, sorry, says that John as well. And we almost got there in the chat. Katie is amazing as well, says Brandon. And is it on Prime? I don't believe it will be up until the All Blacks versus Argentina game, and it's normally an hour late, if I'm not wrong, on Prime, but it is going to be on Sky and also on Stan Sports, Super Sport. Depending on where you are watching your rugby from, it will be available for you guys. But we will quickly have another look at the table as it is sitting at the moment. New Zealand sitting on 15 points. In second, it is South Africa sitting on 10, and then Australia on 4, and Argentina sitting on just the 0 at this stage. But they will be hoping to change that very, very soon with their game up against the All Blacks coming up. But they will have to do a little bit better than they did last week when it was 39. Now we have got morning Hamish as well. Says George, welcome into the live stream, mate. And so unusual to have both games played at the same venue on the same day, says Andy Watts. Yeah, it has just kind of become a usual thing for this Rugby Championship in Queensland, because the fact last week we did see Seabus Super Stadium. We saw both games back to back, and they're kind of changing the orders at this stage. So this game is the first one this week. Then next week it will be the All Blacks versus the Springboks, starting at 7:05 will be when that one is kicking off, similar to this one. And then 10:05 will be the later game as well. We have got there. Do you have a wig for your beautiful inflatable blow-up doll? If you want to get it on another game, if you want to get it on after the game. Unfortunately, I do not have a wig for him. I know where you're going with it, but yeah, nah. He is a giant inflatable All Black. I always have to lift him up to show you guys. He has got the All Blacks logo. He isn't just a massive inflatable that I do keep in my lounge, even though I guess he kind of is, but he isn't. At the same time, we have got 9GM and Stan Sport for people in Australia, and I believe it is 9GM is free, as well as an option for you guys if you are keen for it. And also we have got Nick White's Mo can win turnover penalties by itself, says Mark Morris. Yeah, his is actually, like people say, he's got such a punchable face, Nick White, but he can grow a wicked mustache, that is for sure. Mine's nowhere near it, unfortunately for me, and we obviously got there 25-21 for Australia to win. I saw a little bit earlier on from Lake Show as his prediction, and we have got there high from Connor Maynard. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. What do you think the score will be for both games? I think the All Blacks will win their game by around that, maybe 20 points or so, but I think that comes with the Pumas scoring a try. This game, though, it's going to be a less than 10-point game. It's just determining what direction the less than 10 points are going to be going in for this one, but it could be close, could be entertaining, and that is exactly what we want. Draw a mustache on Kieran as well, says Steve Smith. I had a attaching mustache to him a little while ago, but I can't quite find it. I feel like I need to get that ready for a future live stream as well. Nick White's Mo slows him down when running with those buckled legs as well, says Brad from Oz. And also Australia is killing the vibe with these double hitters in one stadium as well, says Ryan. Although at this stage it is working for them. They are currently able to get that first win for themselves in the Rugby Championship. It was at the stadium, Seabus Super Stadium. That was a hard sentence to get out. As you guys can tell, I'm very excited for this match that is coming up, and hopefully will be a very good one as well. At the same time, Wallabies are warming up. They are getting ready for Suncorp. It doesn't look like it's sold out yet, but with Suncorp, the crowd are right compact around you, and you just hear them. And that is why the Reds do so well at Suncorp, why Australia has not lost at Suncorp since it was 2016. And then in these games up against South Africa at Suncorp Stadium, I believe they are 4 wins, 1 loss as well. We have got all credit for shaving the beard, says Steve Smith. And a man of my word, you guys did have that prediction or the forfeit that if the South African side did lose, I would get rid of it. And they only lost by 2 points, so it was a very close one, but it is gone. We have just got the mustache for this one. So hopefully I don't have to shave anything for this one. Although if you guys do need a little bit of shaving, I will mention once again, we have got a sponsor for this live stream, our first ever sponsor for a live stream, and it is Manscaped. They sent us the Lawnmower 4.0, and they did say, have a go with this. I didn't actually use it on my face, so it's actually still pristine in the box. I decided that I did want to keep it that way, but pretty much you can get yourself a nice Lawnmower 4.0 using the Kiwi Lads link. It is just Kiwi Lads, all capitals, no space, and it will get you 20% off plus free shipping. You get yourself one of these bad boys. Could easily go straight across the front, but I will not. We will save it. We will not use it because apparently it is not to be used on your face. So, where else you can be using it. But yeah, if you want to use that code for the Kiwi Lads, be sure to use that on manscaped.com. We have got the I'm literally watching Rugby Guru and your channel as well. Says our fans. So I do appreciate you being here for this one, mate. And also we have got nice says wicked night. And also tonight, will you cry for me, Argentina? Says Andy Watts as well. It's going to be interesting. I'm hoping to see Argentina really fight back in this game up against the All Blacks, because last week we saw that it is going to be in that situation of 39-0, but they are a good side, Argentina. I want to see them do well in this competition, and then if they can build just a little bit of momentum heading into that game up against Argentina, it's going to be a very good one. Manscaped will sponsor anyone and everyone as well, says Mark Morris. They will indeed, because they did choose the Kiwi Lads of all people, the one who's got the mustache and also who is dressed in a suit for a live stream as well. How can you advertise the product without live manscaping? Come on, Batman. Says live starts, although that would get us demonetized at a half, I would think. In that one, in the Rugby Championship could be over tonight, says Chris. That is true. If the Wallabies win this match, the Rugby Championship will be over in terms of who will be able to win it. Because unless there is a little bit of an unless situation here, and that is if the Springboks get themselves 1 point and the All Blacks win with a bonus point over Argentina, if the Springboks beat the All Blacks by 3 or more tries in both of their encounters, the 100th Test match and the 101st, they would win, but it's going to be very tough to do. So the All Blacks, if anything, the Springboks, they will definitely be hoping that the All Blacks lose this game so that they can get into that situation of being able to kind of catch up a little bit and going down to the last try. Do you see another Malcolm Marks try, mate? Says Rowan. I'm saying that he will be able to get one purely because of the fact that last week, I said it before the match even started, I said he is scoring a match. So hopefully it is going to be the case in this one as well. He is going to be scoring in the match. I think I didn't quite say in that sentence. We have got Hamish, I'm in tears as well. Says David. Yeah, it's an interesting one. That is for sure. But I'm hoping we do end up going all right in this live stream overall for our. We've got a little video planned for halftime. It's a little 2-minute clip that I did pre-record before this one that I will be playing at halftime while I am getting all of those stats up, getting ready for the match. But at this stage, we are only 15 minutes away. Like I mentioned, these fly by in terms of talking about the game before the game takes place. I'm getting a phone call, which is kind of interesting timing because of the fact that the game is about to start. So that is not ideal. So we will have to hang up on that one, and we will be getting back into it very, very soon indeed. But first, looking through the lineups once again, we will do it once again once we are up to when we are up to. I tell you what, my accent is all over the place today. I think I'm too excited for this game. I did have a little sleep before this one because of the fact we were up at 6:45 a.m. to do the game of the Gallagher Premiership, which did go the way of Saracens in the end. Looking through the starting lineup, though, for the Wallabies, 2 changes in that front row, both at prop. James Slipper in for Angus Bell and Taniela Tupou, the bulldozer, the man who can just run over anyone that he wants to at any stage of a game, even if they are wearing a Springboks kit, although it's a little bit closer. Sometimes it's just big men coming together in that regard, but he is going to be starting at number 3 rather than Alan Alalatoa, who they have decided. Yeah, well, I'm getting notifications all over the place. I think everyone's keen for the rugby, if I'm not wrong. But then Isaac Rod and Matt Phillips starting as the locking combo. Lockie Swinton, physical game last week. I think it actually worked very well in his favour to be able to play as physically as he did for that one. And then also it is going to be Michael Hooper at 7 and then Rob Valentini going to be starting at number 8. Nick White starting at 9, the man with a better stash than I could ever grow. Going to be starting there. Twain Cooper at 10. He is the man of the hour who everyone has been talking about for this game because he is a phenomenal player since coming back into the Wallabies kit. He was away for a total of 1,500 and something days. And he just came back and looked cool, calm and collected as if he had never left that kit. Quade Cooper, Samu Karevi going to be starting at number 12. Lena Cattell starting at 13. Marika Korombeti out on one wing, who hasn't really had the busiest rugby championship so far. Other than, I think the biggest moment for him, to be honest, is getting kicked in the face by Geordie Barrett in that third game at Optus Stadium. But other than that, we haven't really gotten to see him run with the ball too much. Marika Korombeti, and up against the defence of Nkosi, I feel like that's somewhere he's got a target because I think he could make his way through that defence if he does get the opportunity. Decent under the high ball last week, though. Other than it was Nkosi who was able to get the better of him just the once. Then Andrew Callaway been scoring tries for fun recently. He is going to be starting at number 14, and then Tom Banks at number 15 for the mighty Wallabies. And this one has Suncorp as well. We have also got the donation from Steve Smith. Thank you very much, mate. Do appreciate that. 24 for Australia, 15 for the Springboks. Australia looking strong with home advantage, in my opinion, as well, says Steve Smith. And that's the thing. Suncorp can do strange things to opposition sides. We've seen it before. That is why their record is so good when they are at that situation of being a total of having not lost a game at Suncorp since 2016, even earlier than that, when we talk about up against the Springboks as well, which is why it's going to be so entertaining and why it is going to be just an absolute clinical game between these two sides. I have a feeling it's going to be high scoring as well. We have got the donation from Paul as well. He has donated $1. Thank you very much, mate. Do appreciate that. Do let me know your score prediction in the chat as well, Paul, for this matchup. Tell you what, it is going quick at the moment. Good morning from Qatar as well, says Theo. So welcome in to the live stream once again. Brad from US has said, from Oz has said, what time is kickoff? It is going to be kicking off in only around 15 minutes time. In fact, that might be a little bit too late. It is going to be a 7:05 p.m. kickoff, but normally for these games in Australia, they're a little bit running behind in terms of the time. They always start it just a little bit too late. So they get into that situation of kind of starting around maybe it would be 7:10 or so, but we are going to be providing the live commentary for this one, for this match. And 25 for Australia, 20 to South Africa. That's been quite a common scoreline. Everyone is saying, I don't think I've seen anyone say that it's going to be a runaway for either side as well. And also we have got the live starts, but how much or how many of those do you cost as well, says live starts and Kaching in the chat from Johnny Plays. And also go AU Wallabies, says the David Lee. And also we have got what time, hey, work a lot. Long time no see, just work, man, as well. Goes Johan Rin. But thank you very much for tuning in, mate. It is very much appreciated you guys all being here. Definitely because we are still around 10 minutes or so away from kickoff. I keep on putting up the Wallabies, but now we're looking at the Springboks. Trevor Nakanya going to be starting at 1. The first change for the Wallabies, for the Springboks, and it is in the front row that he is going to be replacing Stephen Kitsoff, who will be coming off the bench instead, which does mean no sign of Oxnashare for this match. Franz Mahaba starting at 3, and then Bongi Umbanabi, able to get himself a rolling maul try last week, will be starting at number 2 once again. Then looking at the locks, Evan Etzebeth, Marvin Ori getting his first start in the number 5 jersey. He started at 4 last time that he did play, and that was replacing Etzebeth, who was out with a little bit of a rest that they decided to give him. So that was why Marvin Ori started there. But that means that Luta Yaga is not here, and that is a big thing for the Springboks as well. Normally the rolling maul is extremely strong, so Marvin Ori will have to make sure that he has taken those very nicely in the lineup, taking it down to ground. And then Umbanambi, Malcolm Marks as well, coming off the bench, the try scorer machine. He will be open to have a bit of an impact late in this game. Also, then we look at the loose forwards. Sia Khaleesi starting at 6, Franco Mostert starting at 7, and then Dwayne Vermeulen, or returning Dwayne Vermeulen, going to be starting at 8. Had a game last week, didn't have too much of an impact, but he still had the most running meters out of any Springbok player with around 45, so he will be able to do the same in this one as well. Faf de Klerk starting at 9, Andre Pollard starting at 10. That combo last week, we're very keen to put it on the boot, but this week I think there will be a little bit more of a strategic running game from the Springboks in this one rather than the kicking the ball away, because like I mentioned in the stat earlier on, they were able to retain 3 kicks of about the 15 that they decided to kick in that last match. In the first half, that was from as well, that stat. So very much so a kicking game from the Springboks last week. Damien De Lende and Ulukanyo Arm going to be starting in the midfield. That is a combo that they don't seem to break up too often, and that is because of the fact they're very good together in that midfield. And then Mapimpi on one wing, Nkosi out on the other, and then Willie LaRue going to be starting in that number 15 jersey. I'll hurry the chat once again. It is going quick at the moment. We have got Steve Smith has said there, Springboks must be close to losing the number one spot if they lose this match up again, says Steve Smith, because of course they lost minus 1.94 last week, which was huge because of the fact that that is an absolute huge drop for that one. But that was because it was considered a home game for the Springboks last week, which was a little bit interesting in that regard because of the fact that they were away from home. But the way that it is ranked is because if you have a home game, you actually lose more points on the board. And because the Wallabies were rated 7th in the world, that is why they took such a big drop. And the Wallabies actually sitting 5th in the world at the moment on the Rugby World Rankings. So they'll be able to extend that if they can get another one here as well. We have got there, my buddy did this game on Rugby Challenge on number 4 on Xbox as well, says Paul. So that is very impressive. I am still yet to play an online game of a Rugby Challenge. But yeah, I'll have to wait to see how we go. Maybe we'll do one next week for the All Blacks taking on the Springboks. First try scorer, says Wicked Knight. I'm saying Bongi Umbanumbi as my prediction. I think it will be a rolling maul early on in this match that the Springboks are able to get going, and they will try and stick to that throughout the game, as the Wallabies weren't able to shut it down last week. So if it isn't broke, why fix it? So the Springboks rolling maul time for them throughout this one. And also maybe they go for Andrew Callaway if it is a Wallabies player, or actually no, I'm going to change that. Marika Korompedi is going to score the try if it is a Wallabies player for this one. And then we have Scott there in the chat. There is a lot of chat at the moment. I do appreciate every single one of you. 2,000 plus likes this stream. Destroy that like button as well, says Steve Smith. I'm not sure whether or not this one will be as busy as our last one, but at this stage, the fact that we've already got 300 of you before we get to kick off is absolutely awesome. So I do thank every single one of you for being here. And if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as we are on the road to 6,000 subscribers, and maybe we are going to be able to get there for this live stream. I have a beer each time Khaleesi runs with the ball. Guess I'm going to have no beers today as well, says Road Rat. Absolutely brutal there, mate. But I guess you are going to be staying sober, perhaps, depending on how it goes, bros. Bro, Eels or Panthers as well from David Lee. Now, me and George played that game on Rugby League Live 4, and we got beaten about 44 points to 0 up against the Eels, and we were the Panthers. So I'm going to say the Eels, even though they're the underdog, they absolutely dominated us, so that's why I'm going to give them that one there. But I think more than likely the Panthers will be able to take that one. Come on now, Bok. Make us proud today as well, says it is Berenice. And at this stage, there are a lot of Springbok supporters. They want to see a moment at Suncorp Stadium. They want to see the Boks get back on that winning form just before the match up against the All Blacks that is coming up extremely soon. When we see something from the Bok wingers, hope so, says Reno. 3 carries between them in the last match. When you've got a world-class winger like Makazole Mapimpi, you've got to use them. And that is something that the Boks just didn't quite do in that last one. They kept on going into that situation, going for the kick, and then the high ball. Mapimpi and Nkosi, other than one that Nkosi was able to take clean, I don't believe they actually took too many of them clean in that last match for the Springboks. So they need to make sure that if they're going to use it, ball always beats man in the back line, and they have got some very quick backs for the Springboks. And Callaway up against the Mapimpi, I feel like Callaway's defense is very strong, don't get me wrong, but he is a player that could have a try scored against him if Mapimpi can outpace him down the wing and go for a little bit of that bonus gas that Mapimpi can find when he does find 5th gear. And that will be what he is hoping to do in this game as well. And my thought, I think League is beating Union in views, if I say so as well, it says Hami. And I believe in Australia it certainly is. Unfortunately, the Australian Rugby Union don't have as much support as the NRL. Suncorp Stadium, though, there are a lot of people still trying to pile in at the moment. And this is going to be the Nelson Mandela Challenge Shield that will be available for this one. But the Rugby Championship trophy is also there at the ground. Excited to see Michael Hooper break George Gregan's record with when he captains the side for the 60th time today. 2 legends of the game. And tell you what, Michael Hooper, he is playing some phenomenal rugby lately for the Wallabies. And he is one of those players. I'm going to shuffle back to the middle, but they are just showing the huddle of the Springboks. We are getting close to kick-off, ladies and gentlemen. But it's just that big thing. Michael Hooper, throughout those games in France, up against France, he was phenomenal. The games up against the All Blacks, he was the standout. The game last week up against the Springboks, he wasn't one of the complete standouts, but he still had about a 9 out of 10 performance. Oh, they got muffins and all sorts in the changing room of the Springboks. So I'm going to become a Springboks international player so that I can get myself some muffins and whatnot before kickoff. I'm assuming that they would have that in most. Tell you what, there's maple syrup as well. Oh, I'm getting hungry. If only had breakfast not that long ago, but by the end of this one, we are certainly going to be a bit peckish. We have also got the good morning, the Kiwi lads. Impressive commentary last week. Hoping the Boks can redeem themselves as well, says Tommy. And also we have got why only 325 watching versus last week's 900 or 1950. This is pretty much what we are used to in terms of numbers. This is even higher than what we're normally used to seeing on the Kiwi Lads channel. But I always say it, whether the live stream has 10 people watching, one person watching even, compared to having like 1,000. I just love every single live stream that we do because of that interaction with you guys in the chat. And it's one of those ones, these live commentators at the game, they don't get this to be able to chat continuously with you guys as well. This is a must-win game. There's no excuse for Springbok as well. And that was from Mthunzi. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. But yeah, at this stage, it's a must-win for the Boks. They need to make sure that they win this one, or else they will not be able to catch up with the All Blacks on the Rugby Championship table. If the All Blacks have a big game up against the Pumas, we will show it once again, the table as it is sitting. The All Blacks, they are sitting on 15. The Springboks, if they win this game without a bonus point, they will move up to 14. But the All Blacks still have that game a little bit later on against the Pumas. So it's going to be tough. Australia, though, if Australia win this game, they actually have a good chance of being able to finish maybe above South Africa on the Rugby Championship table, depending on how their games up against Argentina go. So that is a huge implication and a huge motivating factor for this Wallabies camp who are about to make their way out onto the field for Suncorp Stadium. They're showing Sia Khaleesi. I'm getting excited for this one, ladies and gentlemen. We have also got their little Shetland pony Fuff and the galloping. Kitsoff will be the difference as well, says Roland. And of course, Stephen Kitsoff going to be coming off the bench in this one. Just imagine your viewership for the Boks versus AB's game, mate. I mean, I always say it. Anything above 10 people, I absolutely love the fact that we somehow, I don't understand how we have already got 300 people here before kickoff. It is absolutely insane. And I do thank every single one of you for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to hit that like button. We are sitting on 87. We hit the goal last week of being able to get 100 before kickoff. Can we do it again on this stream if you haven't already? Be sure to hit that like button. We have also got Hamish. I'm going to take another bet on Australia to win by 8 points as well, says David. And also, let's go Bok, says Arno in the chat, and bring the pain box as well. Green's Vampire Brother as well, says Katie Dixon. To Sebastian, who is in the chat for this one. We love the live streams too. Woo woo, says Sebastian. And I'm excited for this game. We're up to 91. We're up to 94. It is flying up there, showing Andre Pollard. This is a match that this man needs to have a good game in, because he had his position out of anyone in that starting lineup for the Springboks. Everyone was saying, cut Andre Pollard. But he is a very experienced player, and I'm hoping he will have a very good game. But Michael Hooper now going to be making his way out, leading the troops at Suncorp Stadium, a stadium that they have not lost at since 2016. I have a feeling Etzebeth will get in a fight. He usually does as well, says Steve Smith. Him and Lockie Swinton. It's my prediction before this one. If hands are going to be thrown, it's going to be Etzebeth and Swinton, because Swinton's one of those players. He will get in your face. He will whack you. He will hold you down on the ground. He will do anything to get under the skin of the Springboks for this one. But the Suncorp Stadium, they seem like they are in good numbers for this match. Michael Hooper, they are showing he is going to be moving up to 60 test caps as captain. So he has now taken over George Gregan, who did have 59. So Michael Hooper, just an absolute legend of Wallabies Rugby, that is for sure. Evening as well, says my pa. Welcome into the live stream, mate. And good evening / morning, rugby lovers. Here we go again, hoping the Boks can give us a better game today as well, says DJ Walken. Also in there, Windsor Rugby's Heart, says George Meyer. We are starting in only around, I would say, 7 minutes time. Normally, it's supposed to be a 7:05 kickoff, but unfortunately, they are running just a little bit behind, because anytime there is a game in Australia, they seem to always take that extra 5 minutes or so. Sitting in Kuwait, help me with a link for free streaming as well, says Nico. Unfortunately, I don't believe there is anywhere that is streaming the game for free, unless if you have got yourself a VPN, you will be able to watch it using an Australian VPN. Watching it on 9 is your best bet if you do want to watch this game for free. And we have got their House of Weather, their mate, any belt stands and the fans. I'm seeing a few green and gold in the ground by the looks of it, but also it looks like a very nice afternoon there at Suncorp Stadium. It looked like the sun was almost out behind as well. Hey, Kiwi lads, cheers. Created a YouTube to say cheers for the commentary last week. Nice work, team, as well. Looking forward to your next 2 calls tonight as well, says Mark. Thank you very much, mate. And we have got plenty of rugby that is coming tonight. We've got this game between the Wallabies and the Springboks. Then we've got the game that is happening straight after, pretty much. That's going to be a 10:05 kickoff, and that will be between New Zealand and the Pumas. So that will have a little bit of extra implications on that match if the Pumas do end up winning that one, of course. But if the Springboks win this game, it can really put the All Blacks back under pressure. Rugby has started now as well, says a bit of Berenice. We're not quite there yet at this stage. We have still got the national anthems, and then we are straight into the rugby for this one. And we have got there, we're missing Rassie's tactics in the last game. I have a feeling he was more involved this week as well, says Arno. And also not complaining, Australia have all home advantage. Might have a small chance of winning this championship like he asked as well, says Steve Smith. And also we have got Hamish. Show the lineup again, please. No worries, mate. We will put it up for you guys who have not seen it yet. We will start with the Wallabies. We will just talk through the changes as we are at the national anthems. Changes for the Wallabies. James Slipper in the number 1 jersey coming in for Angus Bell. Number 3, Tani Alatupo had a decent impact off the bench last week. Going to be starting rather than Alan Alatoa, who was starting in the last match. Then you look through the next change for the Wallabies. It is going to be Nick White. So an unchanged lock pairing and unchanged loose forwards for the Wallabies for this one. But Nick White starting at 9 rather than Tate McDermott, who will be coming off the bench. Then we look through Quade Cooper starting at 10. That is a name that I couldn't not mention because of his performance last week. The rest of the backline, though, for the Wallabies is going to be identical. Samu Karevi also having some very good running meters last week. And we are going to do the same in this one. But the South African national anthem at the moment, it is blaring. It is looking like the team are fired up for this one. They're showing Dwayne Vermeulen, Andre Pollard, Faf de Klerk, 3 men that could easily have an impact in this game in the 8, 9, 10 jerseys for this one. Now looking at the box, the mighty box, they are going to be starting Trevor Nakanye in the number 1 jersey rather than Stephen Kitsoff, who will be coming off the bench. The only other change for the Springboks in this match, it is going to be Marvin Ori starting at 5 due to the injury of Diaga, but he will be back for the Springboks games. They are hopeful. So hopefully we do get to see him play a little bit more in the future. But nonetheless, that is the starting lineup for the Springboks, still going with the de Klerk Pollard combo at 9 and 10, and then also Deolanda Lukanyoan, Seba Unkosi, still a little bit away, Cheslin Colby, but he shouldn't be too far off in the future. Then that is the national anthem of South Africa. We are getting very close to getting underway, and I will quickly do a little bit of a thing as well. We will pass that across. We are going to put it up on the TV on mute, so you guys, or not you guys, but luckily my mother will be able to watch the game, so she is excited for this game. And we will have to wait and see what the result will be. But Malcolm Mark scoring 2 tries in the last match. He will be an impact player here for the Springboks. I would think the way that he will be able to play this game late with the rolling maul, but also still going for that 6-2 split for the Springboks in this game with Mako van Staden, Quaka Smith, and also Jasper Visa going to be starting at number 21. Yeah, hopefully it is going to be a very good game. The other change for Australia off the bench, so they have got Angus Bell, Tom Robertson, Darcy Swain all coming in for this game. And then that is all of the changes for Australia heading into this match. Once again, though, showing the Rugby Championship table, there is a lot on the line. So we will have to wait and see who will be able to get the full points available. We can see 1 point for a loss of 7 or fewer, which is what the Springboks actually had last week. So that is what they will be hoping for at bare minimum today. But they won't be going for the 1 point. They will be going for the full 4 or 5 available for them. But the Australian national anthem, it is almost finished. The goosebumps are coming in because the Wallabies taking on the Springboks is about to be upon us. Anyone who hasn't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're sitting on 114 heading into kickoff, which is almost a round of applause for you guys there. And we have got over 500 of you ready to go for this match between the Springboks and the Wallabies. But once again, just a very quick shout out. If you do want 20% off plus free shipping on the manscaped.com website, we have got the Lawnmower 4.0. They have sponsored this live stream, Manscaped. So if you do want a little bit of a discount there in New Zealand and Australia, it's also almost up to an extra 45% off, depending on whereabouts you are in New Zealand and Australia. But be sure to check that out. And it is the pinned comment for the link there. But you can see the emotion on the face of Sia Khaleesi here, the captain. They are hoping for a big win here. The Springboks, who is taking the kickoff as well, says, Reno, we are just about to see. But you can see Daniela Tupou. You could see the emotion flowing when Quade Cooper was able to get himself that penalty, I should say. But it is going to be the Wallabies who will be kicking off this match, and Matthew Carley will be in charge. Another English referee. Luke Pearce is one assistant referee, and Graham Cooper as the other for this match as well. We have got 1 a.m. here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, says Katie Dixon. So at this stage now, it will be Quade Cooper kicking off this one for the Wallabies. 3-2-1, Suncorp Stadium. We are here for this game between the Springboks and the Wallabies. Quade Cooper kicks off wide to get us underway for the second match between the two sides, taken by Dwayne Vermeulen on the 22 there for the Springboks. And straight away, there is a bit of aggression out there. Marvin Ori getting his head almost, or his shirt pulled over his head there, and there's a bit of a push and shove there. I believe it was Matt Phillip, was it, who ended up taking the player out at Tsibef, so that is going to be a penalty for the Springboks straight away. 20 seconds into this one, that's peak hours for Katie as well, says Steve Smith. It is indeed. So it is going to be the middle of the night over there. But Matt Phillip, straight away in the first breakdown, we saw him pull the jersey over the head of one of the Springbok players, and then he ended up giving away a player for knocking over Etzebeth. So he's going back and forth with a few of the Springboks already, and we are still extremely early on in this match. But now it will be Matt Phillip who was penalised. We're going to be a minute into this game, and it will be Bongi Umbanambi who will be kicking this one downfield. Or sorry, he won't be kicking this one downfield. He will be putting in the line out throw. We have got a donation from Sweet as well. Thank you very much, mate. Do appreciate that. Khaleesi breaking off the back. Gives it to Mustard now. Dragged down 25 metres out from the line near the close touch side. Going to be De Klerk passing it across. Marvin Ori getting his first carry in this one. De Klerk once again firing it across. Damien Tialene balances it back to Pollard. Now Willie LaRue, little grubber of mine, sitting up for Andrew Callaway, who is going to have a little bit of pressure on him inside of his 22. Just continuing to run it almost outside of that 22. Andrew Callaway doing very nicely indeed. Nick White now going to be passing this back, and it looks like Quade Cooper will be the man who will be taking this kick, and he will be not able to find the touchline due to the fact that it was taken back into the 22. Andre Pollard takes it now. He's going to be putting up the high boot here. Has kicked it long. Willie LaRue trying to chase it. It's going to be just outside of the 22. That's a better kick from the Springboks down. Quade Cooper taking it, shunted off Willie LaRue, passing it across to Karevi now, who is tackled low by Franz Malhaber, still available for the Wallabies. Nick White passes it back now, gives it to Isaac Rodder, tackled by Ori. Going to be 30 metres out from their own line here. The Wallabies looking to the short side. Etzebeth almost just standing on top of Nick White, fires it back now. And Quade Cooper going to be kicking it downfield, and it's a penalty there to the Wallabies for offside. And they will be able to kick this one towards the touchline, make it work, boys, as well. And Sweet Head says, sorry, bro, I'm cheap as well. No worries, mate. But I did say let's get ready to rumble as well. I didn't actually, I realised I didn't read that one out before, but I do appreciate it very much, mate. Well, that donation, what's the score, please, as well, says Anatalia. At this stage, it is still 0-0, and we are sitting 2.5 minutes into this game as well. Back Wallabies again, only 50 cents than last week as well. Says Wicked Knight. I assume that is only 50 cents less than last week, if I'm not wrong. And we also got I won my tournament, says Harry. So that is pretty awesome news for you there, mate. But at this stage, they are showing Dave Rennie already frantically writing on his piece of paper, trying to work out the best tactics, trying to work out how they can break down the box, because it is not a very easy thing to do. Definitely not after coming off a win up against them last week. They're going to have to make sure that their discipline is on point near the Wallabies and make sure that they do very nicely. And Leo Evans got there. That will do the job as well, says Thick Boy with the coffee. And also maybe Quade Cooper will score first points with a penalty kick, says David. It could be pretty likely, but that is going to be a good kick downfield from, I believe it was Tom Banks kicking that one to touch. They are showing him at the moment. Normally very good with his running meters. And Super Rugby Trans Tasman and Aotearoa. There is another ball on the field. But Luke Pearce, he is on this far side for his assistant referee, going to the front there from Fire. Little offload back on to be Samu Karevi. Breaking the line now. Samu Karevi dragged down on the 22 by Andre Pollard. Now passing it short side. Valentini. Offload to Falau Fire. The Wallabies 10 metres short. It's a juggle from Callaway, and it's going to be a knock on. But almost an early try for the Wallabies. Looking sharp in the early stages of this one with a nice little set play off the back of the line out. And we have got there, let's get some points on the board as well, says Reno. But Samu Karevi breaking the line then from there. Was tackled by Andre Pollard with a very nice tackle. Nick White went short side, gave it to Valentini. And the Wallabies, one thing that really stands out to me is the fact that we did see so many offloads from the Wallabies last week, but that week, or this time, it did just kind of backfire for Callaway. Mapimpi and Hooper looking like they're having a few words straight away as well. Mapimpi telling him all about what he thinks of it as well. He's probably, I'm sure he was just saying congratulations on your 60th Test cap as captain, as you are now the most capped Australian ever for captaincy. But we have got their Box need to get points when they have opportunities as well, says Rhino. And Wallaby team is on fire. Now go Australia as well, says Joseph. And number 2 outside says it was a Rio gamer as well. And also we have got their Wallabies will regret their knock on, says Rowan. Yeah, we will have to wait and see. But that one has gone down to the front row. Almost a penalty called by the referee there at scrum time, but it is going to be a scrum reset between the two sides. We are currently sitting 4 minutes and 47 seconds into this one. It's looking like it's going to be aggressive at the scrum time. They have got a couple changes in the front row here, the Wallabies, compared to last week. It is James Slipper and Taniela Tupou. Rather than last week, it was Angus Bell. And also out on the other side, it was Alan Alalato. I show the screen as well, says unfortunately, due to licensing, if I was to show any match footage or audio, we would get taken straight off YouTube for 3 months and possibly even sued. So unfortunately, I'm not able to show any match footage, but I do apologise for that. But you can see the highlights on the All Blacks Super Rugby and also will be Stan Sport YouTube channels after the game takes place. That one's going to go down on the front row once again, and they're not going to be able to put the ball in as the front row is face down on the grass at the moment. Trevor Nakanye having an awkward time with Taniela Tupou in the front row. I think he feels that he's had maybe the little bit of the better of Taniela Tupou in those first two. So we will have to wait and see whether or not that will be the case. So who's refereeing? I missed it. It is going to be an Englishman who is the head referee. I can't quite think of the name off the top of my head, but I know that Luke Pearce is the man who was in the assistant referee jersey for this one, alongside someone with the last name Graham, I think is the other one there. Disney Moments incoming as well. Says Katie Dixon and Box going to take it. Says Michael for this match. And do let me know who you guys think is going to be the first try scorer of the match as well. We have got around Swanepoel as said talk slow. We'll slow down just a little bit, but the pack weights there, it's going to be a penalty to the Springboks. 919 kgs in the scrum compared to the 914 of the Wallabies. So they've found some extra shunt, because I believe on my statistics, I saw that they were going to be very even indeed. But Tani Alatupo, the man who was penalised there for the Wallabies, and now Andre Pollard close to his own in goal line is going to be kicking this one for touch. And the Springboks now going to be about 40 metres out from their own line. We have got there, so glad to be listening to your passionate commentary. Besides commentary, we are able to see the score and some stats. Awesome as well, says Dean Skippers. And the one thing that I am missing is a clock to tell you guys exactly how long it's been. But unfortunately, I've talked to the people who use their live streaming software, and they were like a little while ago, we're going to add it in, and then they never added it in, unfortunately. But I will be updating you guys, including now 7 minutes through, and we are going to get to see the first rolling maul from the Springboks of this match, 40 metres out from their own line. Going to be Makazole Mapimpi with the ball available, and it looks like the clerk shuffling forward. He looked like he was going to be kicking this one. But the clerk, he will be very wise to not kick it away too often in this first half, although he's got it. And maybe goes to Mapimpi on the short side. They've got the advantage as well now. So he is going to be breaking off the back instead. Dialende passes it back now to Pollard. On the outside, Willie LaRue gives it out to Sibon Nkosi, who has already run more metres than he did last week, I believe. And that was his first carry of the match. It's going to be stolen by the Wallabies, or is it? No, it's still available for the Box. It's going to be going back now. Andre Pollard, they are going back for the penalty. And it is going to be playing the player into the maul. I believe he took a player out, so now it is going to be the penalty to the Springboks once again. Rolling maul, send it to the wing as well. Cesar Reno, and also we have got box forwards. We'll have a maul try first, and also we have got Hamish still waiting for his Sky Sport commentator contract to arrive in the mail so he can sign it. Yeah, I think we are still a little way away. They haven't contacted us quite yet, but it does mean for that one, I mean, I'm very excited to see where this channel goes in the future, because we've grown so much in just the last little short moment. And I have to say, it is all down to you guys who are hitting that subscribe button. So be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, be sure to vote in that poll who you think is going to be winning this match. But Michael Hooper there already got a limp. Little bit of a concerning sight for the Wallabies this early on, but up to the 22 now, it will be the Springboks line out. Yes, Bok as well, says Shannon. And also, we have got there looking sharp. You found a razor, says Joseph. I did indeed. I did say if the Springboks lost that last match, I was going to shave this bun and leave the stash, and that is exactly what I have done here. We have got Nigel, who said, great commentary, man, as well. Thank you very much, mate. Do appreciate that, but they are showing Andre Pollard on the screen. He has got a big job to do, but the middle of the lineup, they've actually had 70% of the middle line out in the last match, so maybe that's exactly where they go. It would be Marvin Ori, I believe, who they would be targeting here. Exactly who they've gone to. It's going to be Marvin Ori taking it, and now they are going to have the advantage once again. A little bit of a juggle from Khaleesi, but just outside of the 22 now, and the Springboks, they have got the advantage, which you would say would be an easy 3 points, so they're going to run a hard at the line. Who is that? I believe it was Mostert who was hit very hard. It's going to be kicked back. Willie LaRue now, little chip of mind. It's going to be sitting up for Samu Karevi, who does take it, and they're going back for the penalty to the Springboks. We have got their Box planning on camping on Oz 5 metres as well, says Ryan. And straight away, we have noticed that the only time really that they have been going for this kick in this match so far, the Springboks, is either when they're inside of their 22 or when they are in that situation of it being only, I see someone who has bats pulled down in the line out. That is unfortunate, but the only other time that we've seen the kick is when they've got the advantage. So straight away, we've seen a little bit of a change, but Andre Pollard will be the man who has this first kicking opportunity. Go the Anzac brothers as well. Come on, the Indo-Pacific vision, and let's save rugby as well. First try, Hooper, says Moa, but they have gone for the corner here, the Springboks. So they have decided rather than trying to go for that situation of actually going for the 3 points, the easy 3 points there, they have decided, you know what, we are going to go for the full 7. Let's see if Mbonami can get it right. We have got, yes, it's a F as well, says Berenice. And also we have got there, come on, Australia, defence boys. And Aussie is the team and my country as well, says Joseph. At the stage now, Mbonambi going to the middle once again to Marvin Ori. It's a F. It's got the ball. He's fallen down. He's crawling. There, it's a F, and it's a penalty to the Wallabies due to the double movement. And that is a blow to the Springboks as they had the easy 3 point opportunity. Instead, they kicked it for the corner, but they have not quite been able to convert it. You feel bad for Etzebeth there. He had the ball. He broke off the back, had his knee taken out by Folau Whaiata. in that tackle, and then from there just crawl forward just a little bit, and that's a go for the 7 as well, says Reino. And also we have got first try for Seba Nkosi, and Etzebeth tried as well. It says Wicked Knight, he was close to being able to get there, Etzebeth, but ended up just being a little bit short. Ryan said go Bok as well in the chat, and I believe at this stage I'm going to have a look, and 67% of you have said that the Springboks are going to win this game in that poll. If you haven't already, be sure to vote in that poll with who you think is going to win for our Whāinga are now just outside of the 22 now. Going to the back, it's taken by Matt Phillip. It's going to be passed back by Michael Hooper. Gives it to Nick White, who is going to be clearing the lines. It's gone straight down the middle of the field. Hasn't found touch, though, so now it's going to be Mapimpi. Passes it across to Willie LaRue. Going to be firing up the high boot, and Mapimpi going to be chasing it. He's run straight into the back of Lockie Swindon. Still almost going to be able to get there, Nick White. Taking it nicely in the air. He was down on the ground almost, and then he was wrestled back to his feet. So it's become a rolling ball now for the Wallabies. They need to get this ball out. I believe it is Franco Mostert who is right in there. The ball is still moving for the Wallabies, so it's gone to ground in this one. Is it going to be a scrum, or is it going to be available for the Wallabies? It is the Wallabies who have got this one on the halfway line now. Pass back by Cotton Petty. Going to be Cooper. Going for the kick in behind. Almost a banana kick down the middle of the field. It's going to be Willie LaRue. Got this ball 5 metres out from his line, and he is going to be kicking this one downfield almost into touch, but he hasn't found the touch line now. It's going to be Tom Banks charging 40 for the Wallabies. What a hit from Franco Mostert. On it was the man in the number 15 jersey. This is the man in the number 3 jersey, Teniela Tupou, driving his way forward, and it's advantage to the Springboks now. They still can't get that ball out. It's almost available for them. Nick White trying to get it. He has got it now, but they've got the advantage. Or Faf de Klerk knocking the ball out of his hands. Could be a double blow of the whistle, and Faf de Klerk could be going to the bin here. Yes, he is. Faf de Klerk off the field. He is off the field now. He decided to tap the ball out of the hands of Nick White when he was going to fire it out the back line. And now it does mean that Faf de Klerk, he is smiling about it, but he is off the field now for the next 10 minutes. They already had the penalty advantage there, the Wallabies. So it was a big mistake from Faf de Klerk. Then it was Nick White. He was about to play the ball off the back of the breakdown, and then he had the ball in his hands, Nick White. Still Faf de Klerk playing with it in the breakdown, and then he was just about to pass it, and then he hit the hand of Nick White, and that is why he ended up with the yellow card, and that is why the Wallabies are now going for the corner also. They decided that rather than going for the 3 points, both sides going for 7s in this one, both probably chasing the bonus point. And we have got there in the chat, Baby Thor Y as well. Says it, Katie Dixon, and also we have got there in the chat, I'm living dangerously. I voted draw as well. It is a decent shout, and now it's going to be Michael Hooper. He's got the ball in his 60th test match as captain for the Wallabies. They are only 5 metres short. It's going to be now James Slipper getting the carry straight in there. Khaleesi trying to get it not quite over to, passing it back now. It's going to be Lena Cattell breaking the line, and he scored the try. Lena Cattell, the double break in the tackle, and the Wallabies has struck first in this one after 10 minutes. And that yellow card, is it going to be crucial? The last time that they got a yellow card, the first time I should say, in that last match that they got the yellow, did lead to a try as well, was Khaleesi's yellow card last time. This time it is Faf de Klerk, and it is going to be now the penalty against the we have also got there in the chat. Boom as well, says McKenna. And also we have got their try time. Let's go South Africans. Should be humble now. The game's not over yet though, mate. There is still plenty of time. But Lena Cattell, number 13 jersey, was having a little bit of a quiet game last week when he was in the midfield. It was Samu Karevi, but this week now he has scored himself a very nice try there for the Wallabies. But I won't mention anyone who is no, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be covering the game a little bit later on tonight between the I almost said the Springboks, but between the game between the Pumas and the All Blacks is the other one we are going to be covering. Come on, Springboks, come on, you're better than this as well, says Johnny. And I voted Wallabies, says Adult Entertainment in there. And Fuff, what are you thinking as well, says DJ Walker. Yeah, a little slight lapse in judgment there from Faf de Klerk, and because of it, did reward the Wallabies with an opportunity to get the early points on the ball. We will add that name, Len Ikatel. We haven't added it yet. I believe that is almost his first try this season for the Wallabies in that kit. And now 13 minutes in, the Wallabies, it is going to be Quade Cooper once again, who will have an opportunity to kick there. His kicking accuracy in his career is only 67%. That would have been bumped up big time by his 8 from 8 last week, up against the Springboks 5-0 as well. Says Rio game, and also Faf's fault there. Discipline only or always a problem for the box, says Thick Boy. And also we have got there Ryan. I said, come on, box, we've got this as well on there. But now Quade Cooper lining this one up pretty much straight out in front. Oh, that's the wrong one. He's missed it. And that is going to be his first miss in the Wallabies kit since returning. So it's going to be 5-0. And I will put that one up on the board. And also we will edit this one so that it is going across the bottom. There we go. It is going to be the Springboks sitting on 0 and the Wallabies sitting on 5 at this stage. And we have also got there Fuff as well, says Steve's living also green from Dubai. Is there a crowd in Brisbane? There is indeed. It looks like they are in at decent numbers at Suncorp Stadium, already filling up, and there is still another game to go today. That one's going to be kicked off by the Box, though, and they are currently 5-0 down. Corumbeti with a nice salad dummy, and now he's going to be driving forward here, 35 metres out from their own line here, the Wallabies, and they will be open to try and find themselves another try before Faf de Klerk is back from the bin. It's going to be Quade Cooper putting his laces through that one, putting it into touch, and now it will be this very good kick from Quade Cooper there. 40 out from their line, and it will be the Springboks who have got the opportunity at line out time. Yeah, everyone goes sub as well, says Harry. We are currently sitting very close to hitting 6,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are currently only 30 away. So if you do want to help us out, please do. Also, be sure to leave a like on this live stream. We have got their comment Springboks as well, says Interest. And also, did Cooper get a knock as well, says Ryan? I don't believe so. I haven't seen it at this stage, but he did end up missing that one, unfortunately, for Quade Cooper, which normally, I mean, last week, 8 from 8, very decent, but that kicking accuracy of 67%, perhaps he could be kicking at that for this match. It is going to be taken there by Marvin Ori in the line out, 40 metres out for the Springboks. Man advantage for the Wallabies. Can they get themselves rolling still in this rolling ball? They haven't got a halfback at this stage, but Umbonambi doesn't look like he needs one because they are going to be marching forward nicely here. The Box breaking off the back, and they are still going. Although it has been shut down there by the Wallabies, but they've got the advantage now, the Springboks. Willa LaRue going to be playing this one at halfback, and it's a penalty to the Springboks there, 40 metres out. Dwayne Vermeulen trying to get the ball instead. Falau Fire just not giving it back to them, and we have got Kiwi lads. Did Cooper miss from directly out in front, says Mike Webb. It was pretty much, I would have called it a pretty easy kick. It wasn't quite straight out in front, but I'd say it was only maybe about 20 metres or so out to a little bit to the side, so probably 25 to 30, and he did end up missing that one. Hit the post with it, hit the post with it as well. And Tiger the Brave said, morning, mate. Great work this stream as well. Thank you very much, Tiger. I do appreciate you being here for this live stream once again. We've got a lot of you guys who were here last week, which is absolutely awesome to see. And we are going to be covering the game that has taken place a little bit later on, which is going to be between the All Blacks and the Pumas. That's going to be kicking off in only less than 3 hours' time for that game. And Bongi Umbonambi already down. They will have Malcolm Marks on the bench, who is a very dangerous player, but I don't think they would have wanted to go to him this early. Looking through the benches, while we have got a little bit of a stoppage in play for Umbonambi being down, we will look at them. And they have got, once again, the 6-2 split for the Springboks in this one. They have got the likes of, I got the wrong name down. There we go. We will move that one just for a moment. We know that it is 5-0. The Australian side making quite a few changes. Angus Bell, Tom Robertson, Darcy Swain, all getting added to that bench. And then it is South Africa, who have got Malcolm Marks, who was able to score 2 tries in the last match. Stephen Kitsoff in the number 17 jersey, the only other change for the Springboks in this one, and that is due to deciding to have him late up against, it will be that man Tom Robertson, and now they are going to be taking on the points here. The Springboks, they are currently only behind by 5, so if they get this one over, it will only be a 2-point game between these two sides, and they will take that. Andre Pollard here, they're going to show us kicking accuracy for his career. He's sitting at 74%. He didn't have the best game off the boot last week, but he is just a talented player, Andre Pollard, normally very good with his kicking as well. Marks as well, says Rian, and surely if Malcolm Marks makes his way out onto the field this early, he will get himself a try. Andre Pollard, he struck that one down the middle, Andre. And now because of it, it is going to be 3 points to the Springboks and 5 to the Wallabies, just getting that little bit closer. I don't think it's going to be more than like a 10-point split between these two sides at the full time. Quite conducting nice so far. As well, says McKenna. Also, we have got, what are you watching it on? I am watching it on Sky here in New Zealand, but it is available on Stan Sport, Super Sport, and also 9 in Australia as the other option. As well, we have got the Hauser from South Africa, from a South African living in Christchurch as well, says Gareth. So just up the road from myself there. And do let me know your score predictions in the chat as well. We've seen the first try of the match go the way of Len Ikitau. Do let me know who you think will be able to get the second. Trevor Nakanya now going to be driving forward his first game back, and he's dropped the ball there. So it's going to be a scrum here for the Wallabies, or is it? It's going to be a penalty instead. No, they have got this ball back in the breakdown. They've got the advantage as well now, the Wallabies, and that was a little bit of a mistake from the Wallabies. Quade Cooper lined up by Dwayne Vermeulen. Found the offload of Tom Bankso, and that is something that the Wallabies are doing. They are doing drawing pass. Now it's out to Marika Corumbeti down the wing. Missing the tackle was Willie LaRue. No, it was Andre Pollard. They almost split Marika Corumbeti's legs like it was one of those chopsticks that you get. And Dwayne Vermeulen just picking up Nick White, having a little bit of a play with him in that regard. But you know when you have those chopsticks that you get when you have your Chinese food and you kind of break them in half, is it called a wishbone? That is what it's called as well when we're talking about a chicken. They pretty much did that to Marika. That could have been a terrible injury to the groin there for Corumbeti, but luckily his legs didn't go too far apart. And then Dwayne Vermeulen was just like, you know what, I'm going to pick up Nick White while I'm at it because he's got the ball in hand. But it was, of course, after the penalty had been awarded to the Wallabies, and now they have kicked for the corner once again. This is going to be a dangerous position for Laufaia'a. Once again, going to be throwing it into the front. Finds the hands of Lockie Swinton and now rolling more. It's going sideways here. Michael Hooper breaks back to try and get back in the field of play. Khaleesi straight on the ball, not able to get it. Konbiri passes it back now to Karevi. Tackled low by Damian Dialende. Well, I'm asking the question of whether or not he was taken off the ball. Swinton now trying to drive forward. Damian Dialende with another tackle, 2 in a row for that man by the Wallabies. Can they get themselves another try while they have the man advantage? Taniela Tupou breaking through. His pants have gone down, but he doesn't care. He's still driving at the line. And now it's another advantage. Oh, who's that? He's just flown in there for Laufaia'a. I would have thought that would be a penalty, but they already had the advantage. Marika Korombiri offload. Lena Cattell scores his second try of the match. Where is that man mean? That was on a sentence, but what has happened here for the Springboks early on in this game? Lena Cattell scoring his second try. He hasn't scored a try up to this match. And Lena Cattell now back-to-back tries for that man in the number 13 jersey. We're going to add it as well. And you have to say that the yellow card of Fluff de Klerk has been costing the Springboks a little bit early on in this game. Try, says Steve Smith. And in the chat from George Meyer as well. We have got there. Try, says Scotty Dixon. Go Aussie. And the chat from McKenna. Let's go, says Gregory Grant. And the kick is over, says Michael. So you are well and truly ahead of me there, I believe, because I'm watching on Sky Go. There's that little bit of a delay, but it was Tom Banks. Beautiful inside ball from Marika Korombiri on the outside. Lena Cattell scores the try, and he is a very happy man at the moment. Quade Cooper now will have the opportunity to convert this one right from the touchline. So he'll be open to be able to get this one. Oi, says Gregory Grant. And it would appear as though the Aussies have got a bit on, says George Meyer. They do indeed at this stage. And you're seeing straight away the offload game is just happening at a frantic pace for the Wallabies. They have hardly gone to a breakdown because we all know how strong the Springboks are in a breakdown. So they have decided, right, we're just not going to let it get to that situation. We're going to keep on offloading. We're going to keep on throwing the ball around so that the Springboks can't keep up with us. And while they have still got only a few men on the field, 14 to be exact, they are still missing one. Shaving balls. Hey, Richard, says George, I didn't shave my face, but not the other part of that one is going to be going over. And now it is going to be 12 for the Wallabies and 3 for the Springboks. They have still got 3 seconds left of this yellow card. So I believe Fluff de Klerk will be back out on the field now for the Springboks, but they cannot afford another yellow card. It is as simple as that. Karaki boys, what's going on? Says Mapara as well. The Wallabies are just starting off at a frantic pace, I should say. And just looking at it straight away, are you behind a few seconds as well? Says Michael. I am indeed. Because I am watching on Sky Go, it does mean that I've got around a 40-second delay compared to live TV for some of you guys who are watching it on kind of the DSTV, I believe, is actually quite close to live as well, if I'm not wrong, in South Africa, or also just watching it on Sky or anything like that. But Quade Cooper now going to be passing it back. We're going to be receiving the pass. 40 metres out now. Willie LaRue takes that ball for the Springboks once again. Andre Pollard, little kick in behind, going for the 50-22, trying to find the space, and he's got it, Andre Pollard. So now it's going to be an attacking line out for the Springboks, and Andre Pollard, he is fired up. He is letting everyone know that it is a 50-22. That is for sure. The Springboks, that is a great kick compared to what they did last week as well. In regards to the fact that I've got the stat here, 3 times out of all the kicks in the first half, the Springboks were able to retain that ball compared to the 10 times that they did not get it. 3 times they kicked for territory, but this is the first 50-22 for the Springboks. We have got Box Big Hat back as well, says George Meyer. And at this stage now, they are going to be inside of the 22, 20 metres out, 24 minutes into this game as well, and they will be going for the rolling maul. We have more than likely Bongi Umbanambi. They will be giving the ball to him at the back of this rolling maul. It's going to be Marvin O'Reilly, takes it nicely. They're going to be on the 22. Khaleesi has gone down on the 22 here. Bongi Umbanambi playing halfback, offloads it back now into the hands of Damian Dialende, trying to break the tackle, but he has been dragged down very nicely by Cooper in the number 10 jersey. De Klerk gives it off to Trevor Nakanye, trying to break through the tackle with Swinton, but the Box still sitting on the 22 to a Mueller now, driving at the line, and he sits straight into the shoulder almost to Daniela Tupou. Now going short side, Andre Pollard, trying to pierce the gap, not quite able to there. Ball has bounced down, and it's gone into the hands of Michael Hooper. Offloads it now to James Slipper, but it was a forward pass, so it's going to be the scrum feed for the Springboks just outside of the 22, but Australia once again almost able to get going, shave your eyebrows, and then draw some on with permanent marker as well, says Steve Smith. I don't know whether I want to go that far. I mean, even just getting rid of this part, I look very bare indeed. You can see all the imperfections on my chin from the fact that it is now not hidden, unfortunately. But James Slipper there just receiving the forward pass from Michael Hooper. They were almost away again. Dwayne is playing just a shame he is not captain as well, says Kristen. Yeah, instead they have got the captain of Sia Khaleesi in the number 6 jersey for that one. I've never met a nice South African as well, says Tom. And hi from Batterand as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's going to be a scrum feed. And once again, Trevor Nakanya is going to be down. And I think he is going to go on for maybe or go off for an HIA by the looks of that. But we are currently sitting on 157 likes as well. So thank you all very much for that. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button. We are only 26 away from hitting 6,000, which is an absolutely incredible number. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have got the non-rugby guy next to me. Thought he heard winning the poo as well, says Don Entertainment, and also me again. I hope you're doing well, Kiwi lad, as well, says Dylan. I am indeed, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. It is an exciting contest building here at Suncorp Stadium, and this is not the only game of the Rugby Championship we have got on tonight. We are going to also get to see the match that has taken place between the All Blacks and the Pumas, so we are going to be covering that on the channel. Also, a bit of the Gallagher Premiership in the middle of the night. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. How's the poll looking? As I said, looking night at this stage, 65% have still said that the Springboks are going to be winning this game. Territory is 50-50 so far, and we have also got there. My heart wants to say the Box will win, but my head as well, says Mark Smith, and also go Wallabies, says Ed Vogel, and also we have got good to see you, mate, from Cabello. Good to see you once again as well, mate. Don't listen, fantastic. No effort as well, says Ray. At this stage now, de Klerk is going to be firing this ball in to the scrum, 30 metres out here for the Springboks. They need to fire back with a try very soon and get one before the end of the first half. They've got the rolling maul going. Or sorry, not the rolling maul. It's going to be a knockout from Nkosi, but they had the advantage is what word I was trying to look for, and it's going to be the penalty. Draw your bet back on with ballpoint pen. Then no one will notice the difference. I'm sure of it, mate, as well, says Steve Smith. I had to find one with black ink rather than blue, though, because I think I've only got blue pens around at the moment, which would be a little bit interesting to see. I look like a Smurf with the old blue bear, but it looks like they're going to kick for the corner here. But Nkosi, unfortunately, just not able to take that ball for the Springboks. What's that hard in the tackle? Big cuddle from Quade Cooper there by the looks of it. We always got 666 viewers. As I said, Steve Smith, thank you very much for all tuning in. 666 is absolutely phenomenal for this live stream. For round 4 of the Rugby Championship as well. And Bongi Umbanambi is fired up at the moment. He wants his side to be able to get the win here at Suncorp long term. Will the Boks going to be going for 3 be good or bad? That is a good question. They've already gone for the one opportunity at the corner. They weren't able to convert it into a try, but now Andre Pollard going to be kicking for the 3 here. 26 minutes into this game, and this will put them only 6 points behind if he can get this one, Pollard. He has got it. It looked like for a second I was going to stay a little bit too far out to that side, but now the score is going to be 6 to the Springboks and 12 to the Wallabies. So it's going to be only a 6-point contest between these two sides. We have currently had more than half of the first half, but we're heading into the important time. Wasn't Bongi replaced by Marks? Not quite. He did actually stay out on the field for the little bit. He was a little bit injured, though. It looked like he was getting some treatment on his neck. So I'm not sure how long he will stay out there. Oh, he's just taken Blaine Vermeulen out in the air. And he kind of asked the question of whether he kind of put his hands up as if to say, I didn't do it. I think he may have been pushed by one of the Wallabies players because he well and truly took Dwayne out in the air. And I don't think you can get a yellow card for taking your own player out. That I know of, that is. But now Marika Korobini, that is a good kick. And of course, he takes it close to the touchline. That was a brilliant one from Faf de Klerk with a box kick. Now firing it back, Pollard. Passing it across. They've got men on the outside here against the defence of the Wallabies. Oh, Franco Mostert puts the ball down, though, and that created enough time for the Wallabies to be able to get their hands on the ball, and that's what they've done, and it's a penalty to the Wallabies. And the Springboks, the handling errors letting them down once again at this stage. Good to see. Oh, I can't see Buff getting a second card. Oh, I can see, sorry, Buff getting the second card in this game, says Chris CO. And also we have got not a side, good play in my opinion as well, says Wicker Knight. And also, he will what time AB's game. It is going to be kicking off at 10:05 New Zealand time, which is going to be sitting at 12:05 p.m. South African time. And also it will be 8:05 p.m. Australian time. Anywhere else, I believe the UK, it is 9:05. No, might be 11:05. 11:05 actually in the UK. There are a few time zones that I'm not too great at this stage, but I do try my best in that regard of being able to work out all of them around the world. We might find the limits of these cards through this game as well, says Ray. But it looks like Tom Banks, that looks like a serious injury. He is holding the wrist. So I would say, if I'm not wrong, he has possibly either broken a finger. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. So it's going to be Reece Hodge now making his way out onto the field. And this is a big moment for the Wallabies because Reece Hodge, he is a very good player. But the big question is, if the kick is far enough out, would he go for it early on at 11:05 a.m.? It is, brother. Sorry, I did say p.m., didn't I? Rather than AM. So it is 11:05 a.m. in the UK, and we have also got the exposing the box. They don't know how to run with the ball. Yeah, unfortunately, just a few too many handling errors early on in this one. But I think we are going to get to see here. Or he ended up going for a tackle, And I believe it was just the contact there. Kind of ended up, geez, my hand didn't look a good colour there, I'll be honest. We have got, hey, mate, I'm back as well, says Caleb, and also Springboks getting exposed. I think our great run is over, says the ref, although we are very early on in the match. They're just checking this one. And maybe it was a potential hit to the head of Nkosi with the forearm, but Kwaku, but just about to take this kick here to see if he can get the lead back out to a total of, yes, he has been able to get us. And now the difference is going to be a little bit more. It's going to be 9 points for the Wallabies that they are going to be in the lead. 15 points to 6 over the Springboks, and we are currently 29 minutes into this game as well. We have got there listening from Super Fiji as well, says Osea. And I do appreciate every single one of you for being here. We always have people from all around the world, which I find absolutely incredible. And yeah, if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 6,000. And I think, if I'm not wrong, we may be able to hit it by the end of this one. That's going to be taken nicely by Matt Phillip inside of his 22 at the moment. Etzebeth trying to get through the middle and get the ball in hand. He's almost going to wrap that one up. Etzebeth there. The ball's not available. Has he got it? Etzebeth, he might have this one. Yes, he has. He's ripped it away for the box. And now they're going to have an attacking opportunity. They are well and truly outnumbered. It just needs to be draw pass. Oh, it's going to be Lukanyuan taken out in the air by Callaway. And it's going to be a knock-on advantage here. And this is going to be a big call in this game because it is going to go the way of the Wallabies. Now, the big thing here is you are not allowed to play a player in the air. But I believe because Lukanyuan jumped up into the air, kind of into the tackle, I believe that is why they have given the ball to the Wallabies. But he was coming down there. Lukanyuan tackled in the air. I think is going to be the case. They are actually going upstairs here to see whether or not that is the case. That is how I originally saw it anyway. Lukanyuan was coming down and then he was tackled in the air by Callaway. This is going to reverse the penalty. And instead it is going to be, yeah, it is a penalty. Tackling in the air. So pretty much Lukanyuan was jumping for the ball, and because he was off the ground and got tackled, it is why it is a penalty against Andrew Callaway. We have got there these Woodstocks. Would taste much better or much sweeter if an Australian win as well. Come on, the Wallabies. Says that Steve Smith, and get a guy next to you to hold the clock as well. Says that would actually be quite funny to be able to do so. We have got there enjoying your coverage from Papua New Guinea as well, says Tico. So thank you very much for tuning in as well, mate. They are going to be kicking for the corner. Callaway not happy with that one. Michael Hooper just asking the question with the referee. And I believe the reasoning behind it is because Lukanyuan was up in the air when he did end up, or they're actually going for the three-pointer again here, the Springboks, rather than the corner. My mistake there. 31 minutes through. Honore Pola currently sitting 2 from 2 in this matchup, listening from Torba and Vanuatu, says Keller as well. So we have got people from all over the place watching these live streams. And so Box going for the post again. They are indeed. Honore Pollard going to have to escape from about 35 out. We'll be able to get this one on the angle. Stephen Kitsoff is actually on the field for Trevor Nakanye. That one has gone over, so now it is going to be the score of 9 points to the Springboks and 15 to the Wallabies. So an easy three-pointer there for them to be able to take over just before we get to halftime as well. We have got there enough about how bad the Boks playing. Australia playing some real good ruggers as well, says Dylan. They have indeed. Their running game has been phenomenal, and also something I've noticed straight away is those offloads. They did it very often in the last match up against the Springboks. Oh, Swinton and Vermeulen, that is a bit of a clash. Those two should be sleeping, but they're both just running around as if nothing happened. I would be heavily concussed for about 7 weeks if that happened to me there. But Fluff de Klerk now trying to kick that one downfield, and he has found the box kick. It's available for Reece Hodge, almost taken by Nkosi, but it's going to roll on the side of it. Is, the feet in touch from Reece Hodge. So now it is going to be the Springboks line out here on the halfway line. Still no one in Antarctica yet, though. We haven't quite found our way to Antarctica on the Kiwi Lads site, on the Kiwi Lads live streams, I should say. But maybe one day we will be able to have someone watching from Antarctica. I think I said on the gaming live stream, the only way to get us to Antarctica is if Penguins either start playing rugby themselves or they design kind of like a Wi-Fi router that can just go well and truly miles. House Pollard's kicking, mate, 3 from 3 so far in this one. That offload's making us work as well, says Dylan. And you didn't update the score. Oh, I did. Unfortunately, though, I did decide that I did get it. I must have clicked. Or they're actually kicking that one between Lockie Swinton and Dwayne Vermeulen to see whether or not it was high from Lockie Swinton. This could actually end up, depending on how they call it, this could be a yellow card for Lockie Swinton. And I believe actually he got a yellow card or a red card, sorry. Oh, has he wrapped the arms? Has he hit him high enough and not wrapped the arms? This could be a yellow card. Penguin Rugby as well. Looks like the tackle was okay, they are saying. Oh, but then he kind of goes in with the shoulder. Okay, they're checking where the contact is to see whether or not Dwayne Vermeulen was hit high. This could be a yellow, if not red, for Lockie Swinton. Is it Lockie? Or I think it's shoulder on shoulder. Just looking at it. Dwayne Vermeulen's shoulder. He's absolutely huge across the shoulders, Dwayne Vermeulen. And I think in his own kind of situation. He's probably saved Lachie Swinton from getting a red because it's shoulder on shoulder, I believe, but I'm not the referee. They are going to be checking this one. Listening from Gotham City as well, says interest, and also shoulder to shoulder, says Christeo, and also is the score correct? It is indeed. I believe the contact looked like it touched the head briefly, but then I believe it's shoulder to shoulder. It's shoulder to shoulder, and then it's kind of a headbutt between the two players. So I believe this is going to be maybe only a yellow card at most. I don't think it can be a red here. I think it is going to be shoulder to shoulder, but maybe in the neck area. Contact is actually made with the head on head is the call here. So they are actually going to be checking this one. This could be a red card for Lachie Swinton, depending on what they do here with the rules, the way that they are written. This could be a big moment in the game. Lachie Swinton's going, what's that about? He's not sure what's going on, but it is originally shoulder to shoulder between the two players, but then Lachie Swinton's head connects with Dwayne Vermeulen's head. So because of that, it hits, and then initial contact. I don't know how to call this. I'm glad I'm not a TMO. That is for sure. I'm just going to sit back here and just watch this one. They're having a big old chat on the sideline, shoulder to shoulder together, standing tall as well, says Rio Gamer. Okay. Shoulder to shoulder contact. Head to head contact as well. Because he is upright. Can't see any mitigation as well. It's a red card to Lachie Swinton. He got a red card up against the All Blacks at the same venue on his debut. It is a red card to Lachie Swinton, and Pete Samu's going to be out there in 20 minutes' time. What a big moment in this match between the two sides. We are famous as South Africans as well in the chat. Should be playing on. No, sorry, for our resilience. We will beat the Wallabies as well. As you can see there, in the slow motion, they have shown the factor of it hits. How can you get that decision that badly wrong as well, says Lachie. Oh, sorry, that's George. But pretty much what they have said there, shoulder to shoulder with Dwayne Vermeulen, he's hit there. But then his head, doing a little bit of a dance there, his head, they switched it. It's a yellow card. It's a yellow card. They've switched it now to a yellow card for Lachie Swinton because of the fact that he did show shoulder to shoulder first, but then his head still ended up clonking with Dwayne Vermeulen. So that is why it is only a yellow card to Lachie Swinton. So that means now it is going to be only the yellow card. We're having so many cards in these two games between the Springboks and the Wallabies, that is for sure. Does red card guy get to be replaced? So it's still 15 versus 15, says Tom. After 20 minutes, he would have, but it is only a yellow. So he's off the field for 10 minutes, and then he's allowed on the field, and it is going to be the penalty to the Springboks there. And they are kicking it downfield for Andre Pollard. Tom has put only yellow as well. And also we have got last week's game versus the Box. Stole defeat from the jaws of victory, hoping history does not repeat itself as well, says Neville. And rugby going soft, says Chris Seo. It's very lucky because the referee on the field actually said red card. And then one of the TMO or either the assistant referee actually came through and said, no, it is going to be only a yellow. But now it's going to be Marvin O'Ree claiming that one for the Springboks, trying to get the rolling ball going here, seeing if they can march their way forward. Bongi or Manambi off the back, 40 metres out from their line. Man advantage here for the Springboks. The Wallabies coming straight through, trying to shut it down, but it is still available for the box here to Clerk. Pass it across to Damien De Linde. So they are going to be missing the loose forward for this one, the Wallabies. Michael Weber rushing up, and now they've got the man advantage out on the back line. Willie LaRue going himself, didn't pass it though, didn't find the offload either. So on the halfway line, it's going to be the Springboks to Clerk. Gets it back to Marvin O'Ree. Tackled very nicely there by James Slipper and Rodder. Pollard now passes it back across field. Hits it back, gets it to Damien De Linde, stepping on the inside, but Matt Phillip able to make the tackle for Laufeiner. Trying to get in that breakdown as well. The Wallabies need to be very strategic with how many men they commit to these breakdowns. Pollard now gives it to Willie LaRue. Going on the outside, skip pass out to Mapimpi, stepping, breaking a tackle by Research, able to drag him down. Bellatini almost going for a counter breakdown. Good face play from the Springboks here. Already tackled by Hooper. Now it's going to be de Klerk kicking it in behind. There was a bit of a shout as well, and it looks like it is going into touch, only a metre short of the line as well from Fuff de Klerk. There was a shout of no, I believe, right when he kicked that one, but it didn't become dead in goal, so now it's going to be a 5 metre lineup for Folau Faia'a to try and get right there. Thank for your card commentary as well, says Pat Knox. No worries, mate. Hopefully I did describe it not too badly for you guys. And then we have got there, this game is off the hook. Love it as well, says David David. And also we have got Lucky as well, says Wigan Knight. And also we have got try time from Beran Reese as well. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. But at this stage now, Folau Faia'a, 5 minutes left in this game, or in this half, I should say, between these two sides. So I will mention, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Seems like at this stage, it's a bit of asking the question of time being a factor. Where are they going to be going? They're running right to the back. They've thrown it in, and it's going to be taken by Phillip. Gives it back now, Nick White. And Samu Karevi just going to hit that ball up, but the Wallabies are going to survive from a few metres short of their line. Oh, it was almost charged down by Etzebeth there, but it's going to find the touchline on the 22, and Nick White is not too happy. His stash is still a lot more impressive than mine. How many metres out, mate, as well? They were 5 metres, but now it is going to be 20 metres out for the Springboks to have an opportunity for a strong rolling maul here. Oh, yeah, I've also got there the responsibility of the tacker is to get below the shoulders of the ball carrier. I haven't seen the replay, but shoulder to shoulder is still technically high, so a yellow card is justified as well. And they are saying that it was also because of the fact that head-to-head contact happened between the two players. It kind of hit the shoulder, and then he went and then hit him in the face with his head as well, which I mean, neither of those men felt like it. Like in their regard, we have got there, Judy has said, get this commentator off. I don't as well says Judy. If that is me, then I mean there are other options around, including Stan Sport, KO don't have it, but also Sky and all of the above that you have got the option of Dwayne Vermeulen off the field now for a head knock, HIA. So it is going to be now Jesper Visser out there, but on the 22, Faf de Klerk gives it back to Bongi Umbanambi. Getting another carrier, tackled by Rob Valentini. It's going to be offside called. So they've got the advantage now. Khaleesi going to be Pearson out of the tackle, almost straight on the ball there for the Wallabies. Oh, yeah, he's got the ball there for Laufaya, and it's going to be the penalty to the Springboks. It's going to be straight out in front. So now they will have the opportunity of being able to go for the 3 points, maybe go the Wallabies as well, says Desi. Although with a man advantage, do they go for the corner? We will have to wait and see. Jesper Visser is a dangerous runner. He is indeed. He made quite a few metres in that first game up against Argentina, if I'm not wrong, and clearly not, as well, says Alvaret, and they are taking the shot on here for Andre Pollard once again. Currently sitting 3 from 3, doing very nicely indeed. Hi, guys, as well, says Obi Snake. Welcome into the live stream, mate. I will mention anyone who hasn't already, be sure to hit that like button. We are currently sitting on 192. Can we get to 200 before we get to halftime? In fact, can we get to 250? You guys normally, when I ask for likes, you guys fly up the numbers. So can we get to 250 by halftime? Let's see if we can do it. But Andre Pollard straight out in front. We've only got 3 minutes, so maybe that might be a few too many, but we will have to wait and see. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, we are currently only sitting a total of a few away from being able to get to 5,000, or sorry, to get to 6,000. That one's gone over from Andre Pollard. And now it is going to be back to only a 3-point match between these two sides. The Springboks going for the 3-pointer pretty much every time, other than when they did have that early chance that they decided to go for the corner and it didn't quite work out for them. And that one, we have got their ref as well, says AJ, and let's go Wallabies, says Cameron. And also then their lovely Pollard, says Berenice as well, and Pollard for the post again. He is indeed, and George has said the best commentator. Appreciate that a lot, mate. At this stage now, it's going to be kicked off by Cooper. Oh, Marika Korombetti almost playing the man of the year. That was dangerous for Marika rushing forward, but it's going to be taken by the Springboks just outside of their 22. And it looks like the Clerk will be kicking this one down the middle of the field. Starting to get his box kicks. Very nice here. Very close to the touchline. Oh, and it's going to stay in the field to play. Etzebeth just getting the finger to it. And now it is going to be the line-out throw for the Springboks there. And Samu Karevi not too happy about it. 2 minutes left here. 4 minutes left of the yellow card of Lockie Swinton. Can't wait for the debut at 10K as well, says Tristan. It will be absolutely incredible. Like, our goal by the end of this year was 3,500, and we have almost been able to double it, which is just absolutely crazy. We have got AU doing the Premiership tonight. We are indeed. We're going to be doing the Exeter Chiefs taking on Leicester, I believe. It's the fixture that has taken place. Bongi Umbanambi now once again going to be going to the front of the line-out. Going for the rolling maul here. Can they get it going for the Springboks? Currently 40 metres out from their own line. Bongi Umbanambi has got it at the back. Was able to score a rolling maul try last week. This is using up a little bit of time that the Springboks won't be minding too much, because once again, box kick from Faf de Klerk, but getting the weight right. Once again, Michael Hoog. Oh, that one's going high. And it's going to be hit back there. And Reece Hodges got it, but it is going to be a knock-on. And Quade Cooper was the man that it was a knock-on against. Probably lucky not to end up getting the penalty for taking out the man or not taking out the man of the year, but kind of obstruction in terms of the running line of one of those South African players. Double knock-on is the call. And it will be the scrum feed here for the Boks. Once again, we have got from Steve Smith here. Hamish, have a half-time coffee. It's not to make you talk faster, I swear, as well, says Steve Smith. That's the thing. This sounds like I'm talking quick, but I probably could end up going quicker. Like, anytime I get into that situation, like if I have to sell a house or anything along those lines, like I'll be sweet to go, because of the fact that I'll be able to do the auctioneer work of Faf de Klerk here. He has done very decently with the kicking game. It's been a lot more precise then in the last game, he's been kicking it at a distance that is contestable. Whereas last week, there weren't really too many opportunities in that regard. And we have got there, turn this bloke off as well, says Dave. There is actually an option. If you just click your red X, that will get rid of me completely. So do that if you do want to get rid of me. And no red card, says Berenice as well. And I'm falling asleep. South Africa Rugby is a boring fuff kick that as well, says AJ. Although they are in a very good situation here because they've got the man advantage with 1 minute left in this first half as well. And Yo says Jazza plays as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. It is great to see you here for this one. And also we have got man great in the lineups. Man up great in lineups. Yeah, another penalty rather than going for the 7 as well, says John. That is a good point. They decided not to go for the rolling maul as well. Please give them likes. It costs you nothing as well, says Georgie. You heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button. 1 minute left till we are at halftime in this game between the two sides. The Swinton get a red card, says Rohan. We have not got that red card of Lockie Swinton that we did get to see in this game. It is a yellow card for both sides. So Lockie Swinton getting that yellow in earlier on. Fuf de Klerk got the yellow that led to 2 of the tries for the Wallabies. We have got Geez Hamish on a caffeine overdose. Can you imagine it as well, says John. And so like when people mention about possibly having some beers on these live streams, I always say about like the speed that my brain goes at without alcohol in the system means that if I was trying to talk, it would just be slurring all over the place, more than likely both front rows going up here. And there is only going to be, like I mentioned, 50 seconds left of this first half. Is there going to be another try into this game? We are currently sitting on 235 likes, so we were actually able to get very close to that 250 in the first half. Is not over yet, but at halftime, we are going to have a quick video from our sponsor. It is a 2-minute clip talking about the sponsor of this live stream, and then we will be right back with the stats about this match. But missed tackles is a big one. The Springboks have only got a 72% tackle completion rate compared to the Wallabies 93. Does South Africa have a backline? I think we are about to find out of this scrum here. We have got Cooper's passport. It's been confiscated again. Commentator's sidekick is making more sense as well, says Dave. So the commentator's in the actual game, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Unless it is this guy, which next to me is Kieran. He's a giant inflatable All Black, but the back line now for the Springboks opening up. It's going to be Pollard on the outside now to Willie LaRue. Going to be Makazole Mapimpi with a bit of a step there, running into Nkosi though on the 22 now. And the Springboks good opportunity. Marika Korompiri with a counter ruck in the Wallabies. Trying to steal that one. I believe that is playing it on the ground from Makazole Mapimpi, and the Wallabies have turned that one over in the breakdown, and they will be kicking this one into touch, I would think, because of the fact that we are at halftime for this match. Isaac Rodder now looking to get this ball back. It will be Nick White. He is going to be firing it back into the pocket, and this one will be kicked into touch by Samu Karevi, and the Wallabies lead this one 15 points to 12 going into halftime. What a close game between these two sides. We didn't expect anything different. We knew it was going to be a close one. Just the 2 tries so far for the Wallabies in this one with Lena Cattell. Able to score both of them close together as well, while Fuf de Klerk was off the field. Drop goal for Pollard to win the game as well, and give the commentator a beer as well, says Solid. Also, we have got there in the chat any faster, and we will all get was static that can only be heard at specific frequency. Tell you what, even reading that, I did a little bit of a rough job there, but we have got the well done commentator as well, says Callan. And also we have got, then again, they probably wouldn't understand it, says Rich. And Hamish is a professional. Would you as Richie McCaw to have, or would you ask Richie McCaw to have a beer before and during a game as well? And quick question, Kiwi lads, your money's on who? Says Dylan. Now, before this match, I did say it was either going to be the Springboks by a total of 8 or the Wallabies by 3. Was my prediction there, and the Wallabies get yellowed. So the Wallabies just play Warrior Rugby as well, says George Ray. And also we have got there, you should get drunk on live as well, says Luke. And also Box, get to the try line, then screw it up as well, says Frederick. And also we have got who you got for this. I am going second half with the game being as close as it is. The Springboks are still a decent shout for being able to win this game. They are not out of it yet, which makes me feel a little bit worried for the Wallabies. But Suncorp Stadium, very good record at the stage. Your mama don't live here as well. If you're going to wine, okay, from your mum and my do as well. Says Katie Dixon in there. And also we have got a nice one so far for the Wallabies. Through contact to the head, or I thought contact to the head was red, says Ryan. The thing that saved him was the factor of it was contact shoulder to shoulder for a start, and then the heads clashed there. So because of that, it did mean that he was able to survive, I guess you could say, in that situation. Hamish is too professional to drink live as well, says Steve Smith. But nonetheless, speaking of professional, we have got ourselves a sponsor on this live stream. So while I am getting up the stats, I will be playing the little clip that I did film for our sponsor, Manscaped, and it is about 2 minutes long. And then straight after that, I will have the stats for you guys. But be sure to listen in to this little sponsorship video, I should say. I will be back in only a couple minutes' time. This stream is sponsored by Manscaped. There is exciting news down under, and I'm not just talking about in the Trans-Tasman for New Zealand and Australia. I'm talking about down under as in where our friends at Manscaped just launched their 4th generation performance package. So for anyone who doesn't know, Manscaped are the leaders when it comes to male grooming. They are trusted by over 2 million men worldwide, which is enough men to fill Eden Park over 40 times. We are talking a little bit of rugby, which I know is a stat that will impress a lot of you guys as we are on a rugby live stream at the moment. I'm not sure what the score is, but hopefully it is a good game. You can get the new Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped if you go to manscaped.com and do use the code KiwiLads. That is KiwiLads, all capital, no space. Do have it popping up on the screen at the moment. If you do want to use that code, 20% off plus free shipping as well. Doesn't get much better than that. And something that is included in that ultimate package is this bad boy here, the Lawnmower 4.0 by Manscaped. Now, anyone who doesn't know about this little tool, it is extremely useful and has a whole heap of features, which I am going to be going through right now for you guys. As you can see, comes in a very nice box. You open it up, and then from here, we have got the Lawnmower 4.0. Now, something that you notice straight away is it is a very tiny little trimmer, but it packs a very big punch. And it has got a 7,000 RPM motor, which does mean it can get through even the toughest of tasks, if you know what I'm saying. Lawnmower 4.0, it is also wireless, also waterproof, so you can do your shaving in the shower. And as you can see, it is a very useful one. It comes charged. So as we look at it there, if you press this button, you can see it does turn on. It's got the LED light as well, so you can see in the dark what you are doing. It's also got these little indicators here, which does help you know exactly how much charge you have got. And this one at the moment, it has got plenty because it is well and truly going for it. But one of the best things about it as well is the fact that it has got skin safe technology, which does mean that it drastically reduces the chances of nicks and cuts, which of course can be very painful. So it is very good news that you are able to avoid them. Now, once again, if you do want to get your hands on the Lawnmower 4.0, it is on the manscaped.com website. And if you use the code KiwiLads, all capitals, no space, KiwiLads there, you will get 20% off plus free shipping from their website, which is absolutely awesome. Now, speaking of balls as well, we will get back into the rugby, but thank you very much for sponsoring this live stream, Manscaped, and be sure to check them out. Your balls will thank you. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads live stream for the match between the Springboks and the Wallabies. As you can see here, 15 points to the Wallabies, 12 to the Springboks at halftime. Did you like that little package, little video that I did perform there? I do see there in the chat as well, is the shaver the one that you use to shave off your beard? And unfortunately, it is not in that regard, because of the fact it is for the different area that you can shave as well. And we've got the shaving in the dark, are you nuts as well? Says Joseph. I mean, with this one though, it has a very strong LED light. So if you do want to do it in complete darkness, other than that light, it is pretty awesome indeed. But pretty much anyone who didn't catch what it was, it is the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. The link is in the pinned comment to take you to the Manscaped website, and it is free shipping anywhere in New Zealand or Australia, worldwide in fact, if you use that code KiwiLads, all capitals, no space, and it will take you to their website. And at the moment in New Zealand and Australia, they have actually got an even better deal because they've got the bundle offer since they recently launched. You can get 45% off a massive package on there. And then if you use our code KiwiLads, you will get yourself an extra 20%. So that's 65 off that you will be able to get there. Can you take a little mid off your microphone? As well, says Francis, are we a little bit loud perhaps? Unless we are talking about this little bit. Perhaps in that regard, we have got there, we have got not everyone here is a man, though. That is a good point, although I believe we are about maybe 89% male or something, and we have got there. Would it be too much to ask for you to auction something off while you were live, says Emil? I mean, at this stage, anything is available in the future, I guess you could say. We have got there, I'm not a man, I have no balls, but I'll give it a try on my legs as well, says Katie Nixon. It's very good for pretty much anywhere around, but I did not shave my face with it. I will admit that right now because of the fact that, yeah, it does seem a little bit like it due to the fact that it's convenient timing that I've shaved just beforehand. And we have also got there, just automate, my balls are happy now, as well, says Ryan. And also thanks for the great commentary, says Francis as well. Hopefully that is Francis that I have pronounced there. But we are looking through some stats now to do with this one. We have got 2 tries for the Wallabies, both scored by Lena Cattell, 14th minute and 20th minute. Meters carried here for the Wallabies, 146 to the 97 of the Springboks. Now, a big stat here that I don't think they've completely updated yet. It says that the Wallabies have only done 4 offloads, but I would think that they have almost had double figures in that first half. They always, anytime they went to ground, they were able to pop it back up. You really look great without the beard as well, says George. Thank you very much, mate. I have still got the mustache. It's not quite as good as Nick White's, but, you know, I'm working on it a little bit. Hopefully it will grow a little bit more there. But the tackles in this one, 41 made by the Wallabies with only the 3 missed tackles compared to the 31 of the Springboks with 12 missed tackles for them. So their tackling completion rate not that high as well. We have what's got there in the chat from Noah. Hello as well. Welcome in. And also we have got there. So you're telling me that you got a massive pack to look after my massive package. match as well. Says Wicker Knight. I guess you could say that depending on how you look at it. But yeah, the snap thing comment there. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Big thank you once again to Manscaped for sponsoring our first ever sponsor on the channel as well. And it is for a live stream with such big implications for both of these sides. We are currently sitting 15 points to the Wallabies, 12 to the Springboks as well. Just quickly looking through the point system and how the points were sitting before this match took place. The Springboks, if they win this game, they are moving up onto around that 14 mark, which would be phenomenal for them because that would be probably the only way that they can catch the All Blacks. If they do not get the win here, it's going to be incredibly tough, and I believe they will have to beat the All Blacks with a bonus point in both of the matches that they do play up against them, which is going to be extremely tough to do there. Makasole Mapimpi, 2 runs in this match, 25 metres carried, already almost triple what he had in the last match, and defeating just the one defender so far. Other than that, though, tackles, 7 made by Michael Hooper with the turnover one, the most for the Wallabies, and then also, I believe the other stat that I will mention is 33 metres for Samu Karevi, 4 carries, 2 defenders beaten, and 1 clean break as well. So a few metres being made for both sides, which is very exciting when we get to the second half. That is for sure, showing the subs that will be able to grace us with their presence in the second half. Malcolm Marks, name that almost you don't even have to explain how good this man is off the bench. He is a super sub and a half, and he will be hoping to have a huge game here for the Springboks off the bench. Last week he was able to score 2 tries off the bench. Can he do the same? We haven't seen a try yet for the Springboks, let alone a rolling maul try, because they have just made a couple mistakes at the last minute. But then for the Wallabies, they are going to possibly have to make a sub early on with Darcy Swain. He is quite a young player, so maybe they leave him a little bit later. But Pete Samu, loose forward, Lockie Swinton getting that yellow card, so perhaps they decide not to risk him too much and instead put Pete Samu out on the field, because we know Darcy Swain, he is a physical player. He is a very aggressive player at the same time as well. So they want to make sure that they don't end up in that situation of, of being a little bit on the disciplinary side, not being great. When we get in the Maggie emoji as well, I need to get George to take a picture of his dog, but he hasn't actually sent me one yet, unfortunately, so we will get that one going very soon. What's the chance of cutting your balls when using it as well? Says a Luke. It has got sin safe technology, so it is very slim, but it can still happen, of course, just like anything. It's like you can cut yourself with, I feel like this was going around a weird way. You probably cut yourself with a battery if you ended up having it exposed in the right way, but this has skin safe technology that does drastically reduce the chance of any nicks and cuts for that product we have got there. Can we get a gizmo emoji holding a rugby ball as well? Says Steve Smith, gizmo emoji. Maybe could be on the cards in the future. We will have to wait and see. But I guess maybe if I do my emoji that I was going to have of my face, do you guys want it to have with the stash? Or I guess it has to be with the stash because of the fact I have lost the ability of being able to get that one back now because of the fact that, I am missing my facial here. Because of the fact that I did shave it off. We have also got to take a pic of Maggie, George as well, says Katie Dixon, and also bring on Yankees, says Berenice. So that would be replacing Faf de Klerk, who has also had a yellow card in that first half. So both sides will want to be a little bit wary of those yellow cards, definitely heading into the situation of now being in such an important stage of the game. We've had 40 minutes. Both sides, they've lost their nerves in terms of those pre-match nerves and also in that first half. So now all they need to do is find themselves a nice little try late in this game, and it could be the difference between a win and a loss. We have got there. Will you shave your head at the box lose, mate? As well, says Ryan. I will not. I've already lost enough here up top in the last little while. Stash as well, says Peter. I did get the stash as it was part of the little bit of a forfeit last week. I did say if we end up in the situation of the Springboks losing that game, then I would end up in the situation of shaving it off. And we have got there sweet no cuts on the is good as well, says Luke. It certainly is, because they could be relatively painful indeed and sound safer than the razor I use as well, says Adult Entertainment. So yeah, if you guys do want to check out that product, it is the code Kiwi Lads, which I will put in the chat for you guys as well, just so you know exactly what it is. It is all caps and it is Kiwi Lads. Gives you 20% off, an additional 20% off depending on whereabouts in the country you are, because if you are in New Zealand or Australia, you will actually be able to get yourself a nice little discount in there as well, because of the fact that they already have it. But free shipping anywhere in the world doesn't get much better than that. We have got, what's your co-commentator's name there to your left, says Joseph. It is Kieran, and the reason behind it, I almost just broke my light, but he is a giant inflatable All Black, which isn't really easy to see because of the fact he's normally a little bit short, but he's got the number 8 on his back, and he's actually got a rugby ball on him. But it is clean shaven. That sounds really dodgy. But in this situation, my mum's laughing next to me. But yeah, Kieran, his name's Kieran. He's a little bit flat. He's a giant inflatable All Black, and he is looking forward to the game a little bit later on. 10:05 is when that game is going to be taking place. Springboks win this game as well, says Andrew. They have got a very good chance indeed. Only being 3 points behind going into the second half, it's just a perfect opportunity for them to really build up something. You did a good job with the ad, Hamish. Very impressive as well, says David Dale. Thank you very much, mate. I was very nervous as it was our first ever sponsor on the channel. But yeah, hopefully you guys did really enjoy that one, because we will have plenty more coming in the future, hopefully, with other companies, and also maybe Manscaped in the future as well. What position did you play back in your day, says Cabello? I was actually out on the wing, because I used to be one of the quicker players out on the field, a little bit speedy, a little bit zoomy around the field. But then I got to the season of, I believe it was about under 10s, and I was waiting for the ball, just waiting for it, out on the wing, and I played a whole season, and I touched the ball twice, because our number 9 and our number 10 thought that they were just like the best players. They thought that they were, I guess, what's a good comparison back in the day? They thought they were Justin Marshall and Dan Carter at 9 and 10, and they just wouldn't give the ball to anyone else. But then Dan Carter, he did pass it a little bit, so maybe that's not the best example. Who's a selfish player in the number 10 jersey? Justin Marshall, 9, I feel like is a decent shout. But then I'm not sure about a 10. I can't think of one there. But, yeah, pretty much they didn't pass the ball, so I ended up just out on the wing, sitting there getting cold every morning. And I was like, maybe I won't do this anymore, because I just don't get to touch the ball at all. But at this stage, we are getting very close to the second half. Get them back underway. Once again, they are showing the tries. Leonard Cattell able to get the first try and the second try, both while Faf de Klerk was off the field. And also we have got there in the chat, greens from Malaysia, 28 degrees. Feels like 32 degrees, raining and humid as well. Says Troy, could you imagine you being a playmaker at 10? Or could imagine you being a playmaker at 10 as well, says Steve Smith. That's the thing. I get it quite a bit, even when I play any type of sports. Apparently, I've got a bit of a brain on me in terms of being able to see the game and read it. So I feel like maybe a 10 wouldn't be too far out of the arsenal, or a number 9 could have, but probably don't tell. Oh, it seems hard to believe now, but I talk now a lot. But back in the day, I never used to say a word. Like on our old gaming live streams or our old gaming videos, I said about 3 words or something along those lines. But at this stage, the Springboks making their way back out onto the field. Timings as well. They have actually got on the whiteboard saying when the kicker's out, the hooker's out, the prop's out, and everything along those lines there. But we have got there. John Marshall was good at his job. His job too. Or was to, as well, says Wicked Knight. And also we have got Hamish Go Australia, says Xavier Brown, and I like your effort. Hamish says David as well. Thank you very much, mate. Do appreciate that. Which players on either side stood out for you? I would say Leonard Cattell on the number 13 jersey, and once again, Samu Karevi for the Wallabies. Then for the Springboks, I said someone earlier on, I actually thought, other than de Klerk's his yellow card, he was actually kicking a lot better. Sybil Nkosi getting underneath the ball a little bit more, and it was actually leading to opportunities for the Springboks rather than the kicking game last week, which was just kick it away and hope for the best to get it back. This time, Faf de Klerk getting the good weight on it, which is why I think even with that yellow card, they're going to keep him on the field just a little bit later on. South Africa going to hit first gear in the second half and come home with it as well, says a big dog. And also we have got there definitely not a forward. Yeah, I didn't grow until I was probably like now, to be fair. I was quite a small child for a little while. Well, I guess most children are, but I was a small young adult, I guess, way to describe it. But Michael Lupa, he has still got the headgear on. Of course, he got a cut a couple weeks ago from Brody Retallick Sprig, I believe it was. They did cut him open, so he has had that ever since. You don't drink anything during your commentary. How does the whole voice hold up, says David Russell? I guess it's just that situation of it just never stops going, my voice. Anytime I stop, like anytime I have a couple hours off in between live streams, it's gone. So that is why I pretty much have to keep on talking and hope for the best. And it's also waterproof, says Judy. That is for the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. It is indeed. So you can do your shaving in the shower. How good is that? But the second half now, it's going to be underway as well. And it's going to be Leonard Cattell kicking it downfield. It looks like they haven't got too many meters on that. So now just outside of the 22, the Springboks will have a good early opportunity for this one. And we have also got their box replacement better than the Wallabies as well, says Rowan. And also we have got what company would you like to get sponsored the most as well, says Arlo Ryan. I'm not sure whether or not I'm allowed to say that on a stream that is sponsored by someone else, but I'm sure it will come up in the future. I've always said that it would be pretty awesome to find some sort of kit sponsor for rugby and be able to give away some sort of kit to you guys as well. It's going to be an advantage there. Faf de Klerk going short side, great low tack on him, almost a little bit forward to Nkosi. It's just been wrestled to the ground, but it's a penalty here to the Springboks. So early on now, Faf de Klerk takes a quick tap, and he's going to be running back 10 or big hit from Nick White. And at this stage now, they have declined themselves from getting the 3 points. So instead now, Sia Khaleesi goes to Bongi Umbanambi. Pollard now wide, cut out pass to Makazoli Mapimpi, who is going to be tied out by Andrew Callaway. If the Wallabies get this ball back here, it would be a big mistake from the Springboks not taking on the 3. It is going to be now. The hands. Oh, it's gone through the hands, and I believe that is going to be. No, they've said it's gone backwards. Looked like a bit of a four pass. Faf de Klerk actually looking at the ref just to confirm. Marvin already there tackled 20 metres out in the Springboks. Are on attack at the moment and looking dangerous. Damien Delende passes back. Pollard now. It's the rush defence. Khaleesi out to Nkosi out on the wing. Tackled a little bit high by Samu Karevi. He was going to be the penalty advantage. Well, Lucanio arm down the wing and he sits on it. Oh, he doesn't sit on it, but he scores a try for the Springboks. And Lucanio arm is the man who was able to get it for the Springboks there. So they decided to take the quick taps. So Faf de Klerk was the man who decided on it. And now the Springboks going to take the lead in this match. Now the Wallabies sitting on 15. The Springboks sitting on 17 now. And we are going to have to add a name. And it is Lucanio arm. Why is that got to be the name? I can't spell it. Just say myself here. I'm going to look through and see how to spell it. But it was a nice little grubber in behind from Faf de Klerk. And in the end now, it has led to the Springboks scoring a try very early on. And that's the thing. The Wallabies were still down to 14 men. So it is a very unfortunate situation for the home crowd at Suncorp because it is going to be the try for Lucanio, who was able to score only a couple minutes into the second half as well. Whoever said that they were going to start the second half, well, the Springboks, 100% right there. We always got there. You know that Noah on his mum's account. That's me as well, says Noah. It is Noah Smith as well. And also the Landscape Lawnmower 4.0 says David there. And also we have got, there are a lot of people in the chat at the moment. I do appreciate every single one of you. If you're new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe because we are going to be covering the game a little bit later on between the All Blacks and the Argentine side. He's missed that kick, Pollard, the first one of the night that he has missed there. Unfortunately for him, we have got that well done, boys. Says Del Rey, and almost yes. Says Natures, and surely a four pass leading up to that, says Rio Game. I said it at the time, but I'm not too sure whether or not they did go back and have a look at that poor kick, says Berenice, although he has been able to get everything else tonight, Pollard, so far. So I feel like as long as he can keep on kicking decently throughout the rest of the second half, he will be able to have a decent performance here. But it's going to be Etzebeth now tackle Michael Hooper straight on the ball. It's going to be a penalty, though. No, yes, it is going to be the penalty for the player not rolling away. Michael Hooper, he should have known that he isn't allowed to. And Frank almost is a little bit taller than him in that situation, but they were having a bit of a stare down there between those two men. They are two big individuals. I'm not sure what's happened. The second half has come around, and I cannot speak to save myself here for some reason. But at this stage now, penalties conceded. 5 penalties up against the Wallabies, back to back. 44 minutes into this game now, and the Springboks once again going to have an attacking opportunity. We have also got their box. Has to beat Australia, otherwise no way they can beat the All Blacks as well, says Coach Haifang, and that's a big moment in this one as well. Pizza Hut would be a good sponsor. They would indeed. Would love myself a little bit of pizza, but we will go here and show the table as it is sitting before this match takes place. So the Springboks, they will be chasing not just the 4 points, but they will want a bonus point as well just to give them that little bit more of a chance. But penalties conceded at the moment, 11 against the Wallabies in this game, but it's going to be passed back now. Damien Delende going to be receiving this ball in the midfield, 30 metres out here. And de Klerk once again going to have his hands on the ball. Gives it back to Pollard. Khaleesi now breaking the tackle there, trying to drive forward. No one contesting there for the Wallabies. Goes back now to Lane Vermeulen. That was a long at the start of that one, but now it's going to be de Klerk. Pollard fires it back. Willie LaRue joining the line. Great low tackle from Quade Cooper to be able to slow them down there. And now de Klerk once again going to be passing it back across field. So far, all the possession going the way of the Wallabies in the second half. Of the Springboks. I can't speak. Bongi Umbanambi now getting the carry as well. I'm not sure what's happened. I've had half time and now my brain stopped working, but they have still got this ball. Willie LaRue up to 7 phases now for the Springboks. And they are getting told to defend big time. Lockie Swinton's got to be careful tackling like that. He almost didn't wrap his arms again. Bongi Umbanambi is down. Pollard with the high boot here. Going into the 22 uncontested for Reece Hodge. He took the mark a little bit late, but in the end he did decide that was the best choice, Reece Hodge. So they're going to be just inside of the 22. And Reece Hodge, they've blown the whistle and said that he has to take that one again. But Bongi Umbanambi down again. I think Malcolm Marks is going to be in that situation. Why are you delayed as well, says Arno Ryan. It is because of the fact that I am watching it on Sky Go, I should say. So that is why there is just that little bit of a delay compared to when I'm saying something. And probably you've already seen it as well in this situation. Sorry, I have to go. Says no worries, mate. We will see you a little bit later on. Coach Haifang has said go Box as well. And at this stage, they have got a 2-point lead. And they are going to be hoping to get themselves maybe a few more in this game. But Malcolm Marks about to make his way out onto the field maybe. Unless Bongi Umbanambi decides he can continue. It's looking a little bit like he is giving the thumbs up. He's ready to go again. Bongi Umbanambi was the tackle originally from Michael Hooper. And then it was James Slipper. Almost a swinging arm there. And up taking him down. Bongi injured as well, says Ryan. Not quite. He is still going. By the looks of this one, go the box, push as well, says Terepai. And at this stage, Bongi Mbanabi's been down about 3 times throughout this match so far. He is dripping from the sweat. It is a hot day at Suncorp Stadium because of the fact that there's a lot of pressure on that as well. I have compared the Suncorp Stadium to a pressure cooker as well. Hi from South Africa, best commentary, mate, as well. Says, Norm, thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciate you being here for this one, but it is going to be the mark taken by Reece Hodge originally, so now he will be allowed to kick this one downfield. Okay, they were told head injury there was actually why they ended up having Bongi Mbanabi, or why he wasn't allowed to kick that one quickly, Reece Hodge, which is an interesting one. But Bongi Mbanabi going to be staying out there for now. Pollard puts the ball high. Willie LaRue going to be trying to line this one up. It's a swirling ball. Reece Hodge hasn't been able to take it. Falls into the hands of Willie LaRue now. Now to Clerk kicking her mind. It isn't going to be a 50-22, but he's got to find the space in behind the defence of the Wallabies. Marika Kurumbeti gets it only a couple metres out from the line, and Reece Hodge has to clear the lines of the Wallabies. It is all the Springboks at the moment. And this one, halftime just started as well. Says Berenice at this stage. We are sitting 46 minutes into this game, so there is still a little bit longer as well. Your commentary is magnificent, mate. Keep it up as well. Says William Brown. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciate you guys all being here for this one. How many minutes left? We have still got a total of 34 minutes left in this game between these two sides, and it is only a 2-point contest as well. Nick White having a talk with the touch judge. The touch judge reaction, his was... So I'm not sure what that one was, but Malcolm Marks now making his way out onto the field, and also Stephen Kitsoff. So making a few changes here for the Springboks. Are they going to be able to have an impact? Those guys coming off the bench. We will have to wait and see. I am just quickly updating this so you guys will be able to see who is out on the field. Trevor Nakania coming off, and that is going to be for Stephen Kitsoff, and now it will be Malcolm Marks with this opportunity for the Springboks here. He is a dangerous player, that is for sure, Malcolm Marks, and he will be hoping to have a huge impact in this one for the Springboks. It is going to be now Mostert taking that one, tackled in the air, I believe, or he actually fell onto the Wallabies, I believe, is why it was not given as a penalty. But straight away, the rolling maul, anytime Malcolm Marks is out there, the rolling maul just starts rolling, I guess you could say. 46 minutes into this game, can the Springboks, they've got the advantage. They're going to keep on going. It's going to be Buff de Klerk now passing it back. Damien Dialende, a little bit of a goosey, trying to make his way through the gap there, 40 metres out. And they have once again got the ball for the Springboks. Inside ball, Andre Pollard gives it straight to Malcolm Marks, who just shunts off Swinton. But Daniela Tupou almost on that ball there, but hit the jersey rather than the ball. De Klerk back to Pollard, sells the dummy. Lokanuam now with the carry once again for the Springboks here. Valentini trying to get in there. They're putting together some very nice phases, and they have had all of the possession in the second half so far. The Springboks, they are not giving this ball up. And the Wallabies, they are going to have to continue to defend. The ball has gone high from Willie LaRue, who wants it. It's going to be almost taken, and it's going to be going back into the hands of Quade Cooper, which I believe there was an advantage for the Springboks, but they must have been over, I guess, in that situation, because it is going to be play on Marika Kurumbeti, taking a run on himself. Mostert trying to get in there, not quite able to. And Nick White now going to have to fire this ball back for the Wallabies here. Puts it back into the pocket for Reece Hodge, who will be sending it straight down the middle of the field. Huge boot on him, and it's gone into the 22 now of the Springboks. Willie LaRue trying to decide whether or not he decides to go for the kicking game, and he does indeed, kicking it downfield on his left boot. Going to be taken nicely by Andrew Callaway now, but a space returning fire with the kick in behind, going for a 50-22, I believe. But instead, it's going to go straight into the hands of Willie LaRue, and he is going to mark it and slow the game down for the Springboks. Hands on hips from Willie LaRue and also Andre Pollard. That is not what you want to see if you are the coach of the Springboks. You want to see them still rearing to go. He is puffing big time, Willie LaRue here. And we have also got there going to be a real blow to the South African mentality of Australia sneak it in the last minute again. Yeah, it would be very harsh for them going into that game up against the All Blacks. They wouldn't want to see it, but there is a chance that it could happen depending on how it goes. The Springboks, they are a tough side, but the Wallabies, they won that last game, and they will be hoping to get themselves another win into this one as well. Love the colour of the curtains, bro. Commentary on point as per usual as well. Says BNP Vlogs. Thank you very much, mate. It's currently dark outside. I did show the sun on our Gallagher Premiership live stream a little bit earlier on that we did do. But yeah, at this stage, we haven't really got too many live streams happening in daytime throughout the next little while. There we always got there. Do you know if Squid Rugby is reviewing this? I don't know whether he does a few of the Southern Hemisphere games because of copyright. I think it's one of the biggest things. But Lockie Swinton taken off the field for Pete Samu. We know it wasn't too far away. Karevi now going to be driving up the middle of the field. And it is going to be on the side of the Wallabies, just inside of the half of the Springboks now. It's going to be Quade Cooper selling a dummy bit of a step as well. Great low tackle, Mostert straight on that ball. Almost able to get a Nick White now with the kick in behind. Going to be looking for once again, almost getting the 50-22. Close to the touchline, and Mapimpi nailed into touch by Flau Faia'a. And I believe it is going to be the line out for the Wallabies here. And it is going to be a very good attacking position on the field for them here. And we have got, you should be a professional caller as well, says John Martin. Although one thing that I absolutely love about these live streams is the fact that I am able to talk with you guys at the same time as these games are taking place. It's gone to the front, almost stolen there by the Springboks. Now it's going to be Valentini running hard at Malcolm Marks. They've got this ball here. The Wallabies 10 metres out with the advantage as well. Quick hands from Phillips. Gives it to Lena Cattell. Still available for them. Another advantage straight out in front. This is an easy three, but Cooper, he's trying to step around a little bit here for the Wallabies. Nick White on the overlap. It's a white ball into touch. And it is going to be the penalty going back for the Wallabies. And I believe it's that Quade Cooper. He might be down at the moment. Vincent Koch right over the top of them there. And I think it is Quade Cooper. He is holding his face. By the looks of it, it does not look good for him at this stage. I'm not sure what this one was in terms of what caused it, but I think he has maybe got a bleeding nose or a broken nose maybe. Could be on the cards for Quade Cooper, unless it is just a knock to the eye. I'm not seeing too much blood. I see blood on his leg, blood on his arm, but blood on his face is not the thing that he has got at the moment. Actually, a screen would be great as well, says Tony. Unfortunately, if I was to do that, they would end up taking us straight off YouTube for 3 months. We would get banned for, which is a very long time, unfortunately. So I wish that I could, but yeah, unfortunately, they do not let me. So it is going to be Quade Cooper on the ground there. What ends up getting him? I think it is the knee of Vincent Koch, maybe, that ends up striking him on the ground, if I'm not wrong there. And Kiwi Lads as well, says Joe, welcome in to the live stream, mate. And we have also got there to see Winnie the Pooh, he reckons as well, says that already to David. And also we have got there into the chat, love the suit, mate, as well, says James. Thank you very much, mate. The reason behind, oh, hang on. Okay, Vincent Koch might have just put a thumb in the eye, if I'm not wrong there. I don't think they've gone upstairs to check it, though. So I feel like they almost have to with the reaction of the crowd. The TMO, they kind of looked on the ground and didn't decide to go far enough through. They're going to show it on the big screen once again. Does he get a thumb? Oh, he does. It's kind of Vincent Koch giving it a little bit of a facial in that regard. And it is still going to be the penalty to the Wallabies here straight on front. And they will be able to take the lead back in this one. Quade equals hospital as well, says interest. And also what happened last week. Did I miss anything? Says Dylan. Other than the fact that it was 28 points to 26 to the Wallabies. They were able to get the win, but now Quade Cooper, he looks like he's a little bit on the blinking side on one side because of that thumb in the eye. So he will have to make sure that he gets this one straight down the middle, though. So, South Africa to secure the win today as well. Go Bok as well, says Ethan. And I've realised now, because of the fact that this game is getting closer and closer, my words are starting to get harder and harder to say. And that is normally what happens when it is a pressure situation. OMG, you paused for like 3 seconds, thought the streamer crashed. As well, says Steve Smith. I end up doing it. I just leave my mouth open and kind of sit there catching flies while I am watching what is happening on the TMO. But Quade Cooper now straight out in front, and he will be able to get this one straight over. And we have got there the Hamish pause faces. I see Katie Dixon. At this stage, the Wallabies, they will be liking the fact that they have been able to turn it into some points because of the fact that it's been all Springboks in the second half so far, going straight down the middle for Quade Cooper. And now the score is going to be 18 points for the Wallabies, 17 for the Springboks. To say the two is not biased towards the Bok is an understatement. The TMO, I believe it is, from George Meyer. And also we have got, telling you what, my voice isn't working anymore. Cooper will make it easy, as well as this coach Fang. And also we have got Let's Go Bosch Push from Terapai. And I will mention anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 6,000 subscribers. So if you do want to help us out, please do. We are also going to be covering the game between the All Blacks and the Pumas, taking place a little bit later on. Philip taking that one. Etzebeth trying to get straight in there. And he has been told to get out of there, and he did not get out of there. So I believe it is going to be maybe, no, not quite the advantage of the Wallabies. They are still inside of their 22. And Nick White is going to be kicking this one downfield for the Wallabies. Now it's gone high. Who's going to be able to take it? It's taken nicely by Willie LaRue. Tackled low by Pete Samu, though. But they have got this ball 45 metres out. Now the Springboks kits off, getting his first carry since coming off the bench, looking dangerous in the second half for their man Stephen Kitsoff. Definitely when it's come to a scrum as well. Pull up with a little bit of a banana kick almost situation going on, and it's only going to be through the hands of Reece Hodge, and now it opens up the counter-attacking opportunity. Khaleesi down the wing, running over the top of Callaway, but he was able to just stop him there, just outside of the 22. Buff de Klerk now hitting Malcolm Marks. He's been able to juggle it, though, and I believe it did end up hitting Vincent Cox. So because of it, it does mean that it was accidental offside. We haven't got there. We need to bash up more, make them soft as well, says Judy. And also we have got in the chat over 3 times more people watching than likes. Come on, folks, help the man out as well, says Joseph. You heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. So far, Quade Cooper, take it in the eye. One for the boys' points as well, says Joe. And how long is left from Joe as well? And that is going to be the situation. If there is still 50 minutes left in this game or somewhere around there, they will show it in a very short moment. Reece Hodge not happy with his hands at this stage. 52 minutes gone in this one, so we still have 28 minutes We have got Hope Sky Sports will employ you, fellow Kiwi, as well, says John. I always say it, though. Unfortunately, to get a job in, like, the New Zealand broadcasting, you pretty much have to have had, like, about, I'd say, 50 caps for the All Blacks, but also you have to have played a lot of international rugby. So I am not quite there yet, but hopefully, you know, if they decide to hire an outsider, I will be right here and I will be ready to go. That is for sure. At this stage now, it is going to be the Wallabies who are going to be feeding this ball in to the scrum now. Nick White putting it in, 27 minutes left in this game, and we have got our ABs playing a C team this week. Not really. They've still got a lot of very good players in there, but they have got 12 changes in that starting lineup compared to what they had last week. Nick White now going to be kicking this one downfield. The referee had to duck for it, and that is a big kick downfield from Nick White, but it's kind of gone. Another 22 of the Springboks and Willie LaRue kicking that one downfield. Great kick down to the 22 now with the Wallabies. Research. He's got a big boot on him. It's gone very high in the sky. Is he going to be able to get it? That's a big question. Taken beautifully by Willie LaRue, but great chase from Research to make the tackle on him. Faf de Klerk now going to be passing this ball back. Kitsoff now gets a carry. Allow Faiha with a great low tackle on him. And at this stage now, de Klerk looking like he is going to be rolling it back once again. We have got Go South Africa, says Judy as well. And I have just liked from Namibia as well, says Bruno. So thank you very much for tuning in, mate. And that one has gone into touch from Faf de Klerk. And now it will be the line out once again for the Springboks. And they will want to get that rolling maul going. I mentioned it last week. All 3 tries were scored off rolling mauls for the Springboks. They have been able to get the one so far. And it was the try of Lukaniwan from a little kick in behind from Faf de Klerk. So they will be wanting to do something similar to that. But Falau Faiha with the line out throw here for the Wallabies. Most tackles in the match so far. 13 made by Michael Hooper, 10 by Matt Phillip. And they've gone to the front here. Falau Faiha down the wing. Pete Samu has dropped that ball down. It's going to be going for the scrum feed for the Wallabies for the Springboks once again. I'm just looking through the subs benches. The Springboks, they have still got a few men that they can bring out onto the field. Same with the Wallabies. I don't believe the Wallabies have made too many subs other than Reece Hodge and Pete Samu. Other than that, though, I don't believe they've changed too many, although I just heard the double blow of the whistle, so perhaps we are just about to see it from the from the Australian side. Are they going to do it? Yes, they are. James Slipper now just coming off the field, and that is going to be for Angus Bell. Also, Tom Robertson shouldn't be too far away, if I'm not wrong, but Angus Bell, very big individual, and that number 17 jersey will be hoping to do decently, although saying that, Falau Faiha also off the field, and that's going to be Feliti Kaitu of the Western Force who will get the opportunity and may wait a little bit longer for Tom Robertson. See if Taniela Tupou can try and wear down Malcolm Marks in the scrum for a bit, and then have him come out onto the field a little bit later on for them there. I put down the wrong one. There we go. We will go like that, and we will go like that, and then we go like that. Very nicely done. Kia ora, John, as well. Says adult, and also we have got Colby injured, says Ethan. He is indeed. He should be almost available for the last match up against the Springboks. So we have got getting close to the 1,000 now, says Steve Smith, which is absolutely incredible. And I do thank every single one of you for being here. Damien Delinda now with the carry, but I will mention if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And we are going to be covering the game between the Pumas and the All Blacks. Faf de Klerk, they're all dropping the ball, but it did go backwards. That's a knock-on, though, from Evan Etzebeth. That's an advantage here to the Wallabies. Can they get this ball in the breakdown? It looks like it's going to be available for them. They've got the knock-on advantage. They've got the penalty. The Wallabies there off the feet is the call. And now they will be able to kick this one either for the corner or kick it from about 45 metres out. Kenny from South Africa as well. And I'm proudly an All Black supporter as well, says Kenny. So you will be looking forward to that match that is taking place a little bit later on. Faf de Klerk there just drops the ball, unfortunately, for him. And then from there, Evan Etzebeth knocked it on. Malcolm Marks didn't want it, but in the end, it just sat in his hands. And because of that, they are showing the coach of South Africa not a happy man at the moment. That is for sure. We have got Scrappy Box as well, says Berenice. And also we have got Who Needs DSTV when you have Hamish as well, says Magama. And we are covering a lot of games this weekend. That is for sure. We've covered a little bit of the Gallagher Premiership. Top 14 might get in there as well. Bunnings EPC Rugby Championship current time average says Ethan at this stage. We are sitting 56.5 minutes through this one. Feliti Kaitu, first throw of the match for that man from 15 metres out. For the Wallabies going to the back, almost stolen there, and it's going to be Franco Mostert thrown across, so maybe that's going to be an advantage. No, they haven't given it as one, so now it's going to be going back Nick White. Little kick in behind from Karevi, sits up back into the hands of Kellaway, and that almost set it up even better for them there. Quaka Smith also out on the field. I see for the Springboks it's going to be Nick White ran into his own player, Lena Cattell, and it's a knock-on advantage now for the Springboks a few metres out from their own line. Knock-on advantage. They will be only 10 metres out, though, so maybe they look to kick this one. Malcolm Marks, the man who fires it back in the pocket, and Willie LaRue kicks it downfield. Going to be about 25 out, and it will be once again the Wallabies who have got this line out throw. We have got South Africa, my home country, as well, says Victor. And also we have got Margaret and Bobby from Cape Town. I never quite be I am able to I never quite can pronounce that one, unfortunately. Verendhoek in Cape Town. Hopefully that was something close, but Felice Guy too, once again, getting that throw right. And once again, the Wallabies decide against the rolling maul. They decide to hit it up there. Malcolm Marks straight on the ball. He's meant to shift as well, Marks, but he wasn't quite able to get that one, Nick White. Passes it back to Phillip. They are 30 metres out at the moment. The Wallabies straight out in front as well. White once again gives it to Quade Cooper. Little grubber in behind. Not what they should be doing there for the Wallabies, but that's going to be almost a penalty to Angus Bell, but it wasn't. And now it will be in the hands of Vincent Koch once again. Feliti Kaitu on the ball. No, I will get it. Kits off now, going short side here for the Springboks. Great low tackle from Reece Hodge. And at this stage, it is going to have to be very good defence from the Wallabies to slow down the Springboks momentum that they are causing. Oz running into each other now, says Ryan. Yeah, they are. At this stage, the Springboks attack has been a lot more dangerous. Oh, it's going to be a charge from Samu Karevi. Lukanuam gives the offload now to De Klerk, and it's going to be a loose ball. Pollard passes it across, almost an interception for Hooper, but it opens up the opportunity. 3-on-2 out here. Willie LaRue, one more to Makazoli, but Bimpy, who just threw the ball into touch there, ran out of space, tries to kick Ikitau as well. Michael Hooper tells them against it. They decided to take it quick, and Reece Hodge now kicking it downfield, trying to find the touchline. Is it out on the floor, or is it going to be a 50-22? It's close, but it's taken by Damien Telinde, who will now be running out from the 22. He's dropped the ball. It's loose as well. It's going to be an advantage here, I believe. And it's going to be Valentini down the wing, flick out the back, and it is going to be now kicked into touch by Lukayo Arm, and it's going to be the scrum feed for the Wallabies. This game's starting to up the pace at the moment. Hit that subscribe button. Helps the gentleman reach 6K subs by the end of the game. Let's go as well. Sebastian, you heard him. If you haven't already, be sure to leave that like and subscribe to the channel. I will see what we are sitting on at the moment, but the Springboks, they have plenty of men on the outside, but Pete Samu covering it very nicely. We are currently sitting 20 away from being able to hit that 6,000. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. And also we are sitting on a total of 313 likes. Can we push towards that 400 by the end of this one? If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. 61% of you have also said that it will be the Springboks winning this game. Are you guys going to be right? We will have to wait and see. But Reece Hodge here, he has had an interesting few moments of this one. The fourth try scorer in this match could be either of these sides. We'll have to wait and see, though. But I see Malcolm Marks at the moment is actually, he scored 2 tries last week. I don't know what I was going with in that sentence, but it's going to be the scrum feed. Tate McDermott out on the field as well now for the Wallabies. 20 minutes left in this game. If the Wallabies score now, it will mean that the Springboks will be forced into going for the corner, possibly, rather than taking on the 3 we have got there. Too much rolling mauls from the box, says Vise. Unfortunately, they haven't really had too many opportunities to get that rolling maul going in this game because of the fact they have been shutting it down very nicely here, the Wallabies. And the Wallabies have also been offloading that ball out the back. So they decided that rather than going for that rolling maul up against the box, because the box more than likely can sneak through the middle and get themselves that ball in a rolling maul. And we always got there, I like the decor as well, says Richard. Thank you very much, mate. And also we have got Ryan. We must first beat the Aussies as well, says Berenice. And also watching from South Africa as well, from Neville. And that one is going to be a big push there in the breakdown. I believe it's still on the side of the Wallabies. And yes, it is. Now it's going back. McDermott passes it out to Samu Karevi, back to his feet, going for it to Clerk, trying to get on the ball. Pops out the back for McDermott once again. The sniper going around the side. Great low tackle from Dwayne Vermeulen there. Holding him down in the tackle, going short side. Hooper, quick hands here, and it's going to be Taniela Tupou. Got the middle on the outside, no look pass. Emerika Korambeti going to have the pace, and he scores a try for the Wallabies in the 61st minute. And that was a brilliant run from Taniela Tupou down the wing. That man flies like he is a winger. Linking up, no look pass out to Marika Korambeti, and now the Wallabies going to have the lead by 6 points with a kick to come. We are going to add that one to the try scorers list. It was Marika Korambeti who was able to get it. Quick hands from Angus Bell. Then from there, Taniela Tupou, no look pass, no option other than for Marika Korambeti to run to the try line, as there just wasn't enough of the defensive line out there. But Korambeti, the man who was able to score it, hasn't scored too many for the Wallabies overall, but when he does get the opportunity, he has been able to make the most of it, although the crowd are booing, so maybe 4 pass might be checked here. We might have to wait and see. Taniela Tupou went backwards. That is going to be the try for Marika Korambeti, and he has been able to score for the Wallabies there as well. The chat is going quick at the moment. Appreciate every single one of you. We are looking at it many times. Marika Korambeti able to take it down the wing, and also we have got there, go Wallabies as well, says Callahan Time, says Gabriel. We have still got 19 minutes left in this game, and at this stage, Dave Rennie is up, and he has the round of applause going as well. And you can see that he was just dragged to the ground by Feliti Kaitu, crying a bucket of tears as well, says Berenice. And also we have got Wallabies going to get one more. If they get one more, it's a bonus point. And that is a good point. They have currently scored 3. Lukanu the only try scorer for the Springboks here. And also we have got Australians Mutant strikes back, or back strike as well. It says Terry Evans, and also Thor in the chat from Peter. Of course, he is referred to as the Tongan Thor, Taniela Tupou, and now Quade Cooper, referred to last week as cool, calm, and collected. Is he going to be able to get this one over? Currently sitting 3 from 4. Did miss his first kick of the game, Quade Cooper. Best commentary by far. Really enjoying the match, Hamish. Looking forward to the ABs versus Pumas later on. Kia ora from a 62-year-old Netta, watching from Huntley as well. So thank you very much for tuning in. That one straight down the middle, and now they extend their lead here, the Wallabies, back to 8 points. It's going to be an interesting last 19 minutes of this game, that is for sure. Suncorp, I should say, they haven't lost since 2016. And we always got their drinks of water as well in the chat from Anthony. We'll have a drink in between our live streams because we are going to be switching pretty much straight over to the match between the All Blacks and the Pumas after this one. Now, nothing else to say. We're playing like bad as well, says Mo Gamma. And Bok, please score 2 tries, says Berenice. And all they need now is to get a 3-pointer to get them back a little bit closer. And it's going to be Herschel Yankees actually out on the field now. A little cross kick here from Andre Pollard, taken by Callaway. A lot of pressure on him by Lukanu, but he bumps him off. And now he's going to be tackled just inside of the 22. Good low tackle from Yankees, making his first tackle since coming onto the field. And it looks like Tate McDermott here. He will be waiting for a little bit longer, passing it back to Valentini, and they will be looking to kick this one downfield here, the Wallabies. And we have got there. And at the chat by box as well, says Keller, although the game is not over yet, mate. Betty looking like a Manscaped, says David Dowd. Of course, if you guys do want 20% off and free shipping on manscaped.com, be sure to use our code there, Kiwi Lads. It is in the pin comment, and it does get you 20% off and free shipping. Taken nicely by Pollard, nailed in the tackle by Hooper and Callaway there. Going to be now passed back. Herschel Yankees gives it to Malcolm Marks, trying to run forward here for the box. Herschel Yankees passes it back once again. Mostert taking contact with Hooper. And at the stage, 45 metres out here for the Springboks, close to the near side touchline. And Herschel Yankees going to be sending up the kick by the looks of it. I've almost rotated my body big time. That one is going to be going up in the air. It's bounced back onto the side of the Wallabies. And for Liti Kaitu, it's going to be Kolisi right on him. Wasn't able to get the ball though. And now Tate McDermott looking for it at the back of the breakdown. It's going to be available for McDermott to fire it back to Quade Cooper. Looks like they're going to go for an attacking play here, the Wallabies. Marika Korombeni wide cut out pass. And it's going to be Lena Kittel and a foot race with Nkosi. No one really beats Nkosi. Oh, it's kicked out on the full by Lena Kittel. There, unfortunately, close to my prediction right now. Probably change though as well, says Steve Smith. And also we have got there, please don't say so as well, says Berenice. And also we have got their more aggressive box, says Coach Ifan. Go Wallabies, says Therese. And also 15 minutes left, says Berenice. It is indeed, but Kittel there. Did he kick it a little bit earlier? They would have had to call a man on. He would have known Nkosi was chasing him down. It was very hard to beat in a foot race, that man, Sybil Nkosi. And it is now going to be on halfway line out throw for the Springboks. Love the neutrality. I feel like I still pronounce that wrong. The key to success. All the best from Cape Town as well. Says like, thank you very much, mate. And I always mention it on these live streams. No matter who is scoring the tries, I am going to be telling you guys the game straight down the middle. And I feel like that is the difference between some of the commentators in terms of on the actual TV. Normally, the likes of Justin Marshall or someone like that, he is well and truly going for the Springboks. Now it's going to be Malcolm Marks. Going for the All Blacks, I should say. He is not going for the Springboks. Justin Marshall, he will be wanting the All Blacks to get the win. Now it's going to be a rush up from, it was the defence from Feleti Kaitu. Vincent Kosh now dragged down 45 metres out from the line here for the Springboks. They need to strike, and they need to strike soon. Quaka Smith, few breaks, but he has dropped the ball there. Valentini fires it back, and it's going to be Marika Korombeni with a bit of a step offload as well to Michael Hooper. Quade Cooper, the man on the outside. He goes on the inside to Hooper once again, who puts it on the grubber. Going for the 50-22, but it's gone straight into the hands of Willie LaRue. Not the best option there from the captain, Hooper. Kicked him on now down the field of play. Cooper tries to go for a little bit of a touch, and he was actually looking at the big screen to see how much time he had there, Cooper. Kicks it back down the middle of the field, not looking for the touchline. Kicking battle here. It's going to be Pollard now. Mapimpi has the ball in hand, tackle low by Quade Cooper, who made the tackle. This game is just going back and forth. I believe that's going to be a turnover for the Wallabies. And now they've got the ball once again. Pete Samu passes it across. It's going to be Philip Karevi. Hitting it hard at the line, offload and a half. And Pete Samu trying to link up. He's done the step round. He can't quite get the footing though. Pete Samu get him back up and going. And now they are only going to be 15 metres out. Marika Korombeni goes himself. It's a try to the Wallabies in the corner, and they've scored again. And they are on fire at the moment at Suncorp, the Wallabies. And they have got themselves another one in the corner. Marika gets a second of the match. And now the Wallabies have got themselves a very good lead up against the Springboks here with not a lot of time left on the clock. We will have Marika's second try. He scored it in the later stage of the match, but Resoj there able to turn it over in the breakdown. Karevi, he shouldn't have been able to offload that ball, but it is because of that sevens that he has been playing recently. That did help him out there, and he does score the try, and we have what's got there. Here comes trouble as well, says Berenice, and also last 20 minutes equals crunch time, says Ethan, and also drink some water, Kiwi lad as well, says interest on some spring water as well as the call there, and Hamish, I love you as well, says Luke, and also we have got hope someone will put up a replay of the game as well, says Andy. Hopefully they do. They will have plenty of highlights on Stan Sports, All Blacks, and Super Rugby's YouTube channels after this game, but it is another try there for Marika Corumbetti. Springboks are pretenders, as well says Captain Chair, although they are still number one in the world. But the big question is, what is the difference going to be between them and the All Blacks if it does come down to the Wallabies being able to win this game? This is currently a bonus point win for the Wallabies if they can survive for the last 12 minutes of this game. Marika, we've seen a little bit of a pattern. As you can see, Lena Cattell scored 6 minutes apart his 2 tries. Marika scoring his 7 minutes apart. And now Quade Cooper from the touchline to give them a 15-point lead. Can he get this one? Good aim. Goodbye, Hamish. Go to cry as well. Says McGavin also, well, maybe I was wrong. The box have gone into third gear. He's missed the kick, though. Quade Cooper, which does mean they have got the bonus point at the moment. But the big thing here is that it may lead to 2 converted tries. The Springboks win this game. They need to go for the corner now. Springboks South Africa getting tired as well, says John Martin. It's being played at a frantic pace. It is those offloads. They've gone offload back to back to back to back. The Wallabies, Samu Karevi, his offload to Pete Samu was absolutely phenomenal. And it is very hard to defend up against. Last 5 tries of the match, 4 of them have gone the way of the Wallabies. And they have currently got the bonus point. Lena Cattell kicking it downfield, not looking for the touchline. That might be a strategy by the Wallabies, kicking it down the middle of the field to keep the Springboks rolling rather than to give them an opportunity at line out time. It's going to be Pollard chasing this one now. Going to be taken by Resoj. It's going to be about 30 metres out from the Wallabies line. Straight in there was Malcolm Marks. No, it wasn't. Is it going to be the Springboks who have got it? No. Got a spank from Jesper Visa telling him to get out of there. And Quade Cooper kicks it back down the middle of the field, finding space, just running Willie LaRue all over the place. And it's going to be a penalty, though, to the Springboks. And it is going to be 4 offside there. So because of it now, it's going to be an opportunity for a rolling ball perhaps in the corner for the Springboks. They are not out of this match yet. They needed to get that kick there for Quade Cooper. And it's going to be a big moment here. Offside in front of the kicker. They're going to be straight out in front. They need to kick for the corner. There's no option other than they kick for the corner here and go for Malcolm Marks on the rolling ball. Andre Pollard trying to get as many metres as he can. Very nicely done there. 5 metres out now. And 10 metres out, sorry. And the rolling ball's coming from the Springboks here. If the Wallabies win by 15, the All Blacks will be number 1 world ranking, where they should be as well, says Patrick. I didn't actually realise there was an exact number that actually is the case, but Psycho has put for first time on your channel. Good job, well done. So thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciate the support from you guys. If they can get a try here, the Springboks, they could still win this match. Malcolm Marks now going to be throwing it in. They've gone to the front now, and it's going to be rolling back. They are defending it very nicely here. The Wallabies, they have been told to use it once here, the box. Great defence from the Wallabies, but now it's starting to march forward. They've been told to use it once again, close to the touchline here. Malcolm Marks, he's been trapped, and it's going to be now a line out for the Wallabies. That is absolutely incredible. Rolling ball defence there from the Wallabies. We have not seen anyone be able to do that up against the Springboks so far. They are playing on a different level at Suncorp Stadium. It's the stadium that they do have a very impressive record at, but they just trapped them here, the Wallabies. Force them into touch, and now it does mean that it is going to be the line out for the Wallabies, but the game's not over yet. Time, please, sir, says Adult Entertainment at this stage. 71 minutes gone, 9 minutes to go in this game. Too much rugby in the Northern Hemisphere for the Boxers. Why are they not going too good as well, says Paul, and also great win, Aussie, says John. Massive accomplishment if the Wallabies go back-to-back. That would be absolutely huge for them, but Marika Corumbetti, the man who's been taken off 5 metres out, though, for the sign out, and Etsabev is right there trying to steal it. Where are they going? They're doing a bit of a set play. Etsabev has stolen it, and it's going to be the ball for the Springboks. Yes, Paviso, that's not the name, but he's joining the breakdown for Herschel Yankees. It's a wrestling match at the moment on the ground. It's going to be now Mako van Staden, but the Springboks straight out in front here. Can they get themselves a try? Kitsoff hitting it up at the line. Big Steven Kitsoff getting close. And it's going back for the penalty for the Springboks, and they will be going for the corner once again. I would think they will think about taking the quick tap maybe, but instead, Willie LaRue, they will be giving it to Pollard, and they will be going to the corner once again. I'm a Springbok fan. Oh, they've gone for the scrum here. They've gone for the scrum. They're straight out in front, so they've decided that will be the best option. Joe has said, nice lads, great commentating. As well says Joe, thank you very much, mate. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button at the moment. Are we going to get to see back-to-back win for the Wallabies, or can the Springboks stop that from happening and score themselves a try here off at the back of the scrum? We have got such poor decisions in the first half. Kicking threes are now chasing the game. Great plays by the Wallabies as well, says John, and also go for the three, says Luke. I don't think they'll go for the three. They have gone for the scrum, and they have got the water running out there. It's going to be Taniela Tupou. He is cramping up at the moment, I believe. Hopefully it's just cramp, because he has played an absolute blinder, and Box played the ref off as well. Says AJ 1K watching. We do indeed. So if you haven't already, like I mentioned, be sure to hit that subscribe button. At this stage, we'll have a look at the subscriber count. We were hoping to hit 6,000 by the end of this live stream. We are sitting on 5,988, only 12 away. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to leave a like. We are sitting on 350. Let's see if we can push it towards the 400. And if you do, or if you are in need of a trimmer, I will say, for below the waist, I guess I could say it is. I was going to say something else, but I'm not sure whether or not it is PG. But get yourself one of these, a Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. They did send it to me. It is the sponsor of this live stream if you do want it. And you do want to get yourself one with 20% off and free shipping. It is the pinned comment in the chat. If you do want to get yourself one of those, Box can go to sleep now as well, says Coach Ifang, although they might still be able to get themselves at least one try here. We're currently sitting at 72 minutes into this game. They are straight out in front. Possession 60% here in this game so far. 7+ phases. The Wallabies have not struck it yet, but that is because they keep on offloading the ball, and it has been brutal for the defense of the Springboks, kicking the ball around. What's the time now? We are sitting at 72 minutes, and the Springboks straight out in front with the scrum here. Decided to go for it rather than the rolling maul in this situation, which is just a big win for the Wallabies, you would say, because normally the rolling maul is bread and butter for the Springboks. And Mako van Staden on the field, and that is replacing Sia Khaleesi. I thought they were about to say he's come back off the field there. Do the trimmer giveaway, bro. Check how many likes you get in, as well, says Dylan. But at this stage, it is going to be off the back. Jasper Visa running hard off the back. It is going to be only 5 meters out here. He is going to be tackled by Quade Cooper. Who wants it here? I'm saying Malcolm Marks is going to get in there and have a run soon if he gets the opportunity. Maybe out on the wing. Michael Hooper got the penalty for the Wallabies, though. Only 5 meters out, and Malcolm Marks is going to have to wait because Michael Hooper is on form, winning that penalty for the Wallabies. 13 points difference. Only 8 minutes left in this game as well. We haven't got their time as well, says Jaylee. At this stage, we are sitting at 73 minutes into this one. Mow your balls as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got their champion Hooper, says AJ. Great coach Dave as well, says Michael. Sounds like the Wallabies have their act together. Tell you what, they've done well. And I think it has been down to the strategy. They have been kicking the ball down the middle of the field rather than kicking the ball into touch. And I think that is because of the fact that they want to run the Springboks into the situation of being very tired. And they haven't had a lot of stoppages in this game, not a lot of lineouts to get that game kind of at the pace that the Springboks would like to play it. It is at Suncorp. We're sitting at about 25 degrees or something like that at night time. It's stolen in the lineout, though, by the Springboks. They are not giving up in this game. They are playing like a team that is number one ranked in the world, and they want to keep it. They lose it by 15. I have been informed that they would be second in the world, and the All Blacks will move to first, depending on their result, up against Argentina. And now Herschel Youngke's passes the back, flinging a nice pass. Pollard gives it to Damien Dialende, trying to break the line, but great defence once again by the Wallabies. Not missing many tackles in this game. Herschel Youngke's there. Almost a knock on, yes it was. And now it is going to be the scrum feed for the Wallabies. Once again, a Fozzie win is better for New Zealand as well, says Riley Bennett. And Springboks need this in order to improve, says Ethan. And at this stage, I will show it once again. The table as it is sitting here, the Springboks, they are sitting on 10 points. If they lose at this stage by this result, they will not receive a bonus point for being 7 or closer to their opponent. So because of that, it does mean they need the win, and they at least, bare minimum, need themselves a try in this situation to get themselves a bonus point. But New Zealand sitting on 15 points, they still have a game in hand as well. But with the Wallabies, if they stay the way that they are, they will get a bonus point win, and they will only be sitting 1 point behind the Springboks on the on the Rugby Championship table, heading into 2 games up against Argentina. The Wallabies, they could be the dark horse in this competition. If the Springboks beat the All Blacks, then the Wallabies may be able to take first place and take the Rugby Championship, but we will have to wait and see. Chicken sounds so good right now, and congrats on 6K subscribers, says Steve Smith. While we have got a stoppage in play, we'll have a little look. My voice is once again trying to disappear. For me, I am sitting on 5,996. So we are very, very close. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not we take over. I believe we will be able to as well. I was hoping for a buck win tonight. I lost $25 as well, says Andy Watson. Also, we have got the congratulations to the Wallabies from a box fan, says Ryan. And also, I reckon the Wallabies could have beaten the ABs in their first 2 matches, but not the third as well, says David. That first one was very close at Eden Park, that is for sure. But we are 74 minutes through this game. If the Boks can win a scrum penalty here, it is not over yet. We have what's got there. Box bad as well, says Andrew. And 6K all day, says Thick Boy. Say 6K on my end as well, says Steve Smith. We'll have another look while we are waiting for the scrum feed to go down. We are sitting, for me, it is 5,999. So we are very, very close as well. Y4 as well, says Wicked Knight. So the Wallabies would receive 4 points for getting the win, I assume that is for that question. If I'm not wrong, but now that one has gone down in the front row. It's going to be a penalty to the Springboks. It's a Springbok penalty at scrum time, and now they will be kicking for the corner. This game's not over yet, really. Doing an awesome job as coach, says Paul. And time, please, says Stanley. We are sitting at currently 75 minutes through this game. Right, the last rolling maul was defended very nicely by the Wallabies, but I think the Springboks, they will go for it again. Take the 3 as well, says Luke. He has wanted it because they would be just outside of these 7 points. Then we have got their like and subscribe, says Paulie B. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Red feeling sorry as well, says it to you. So I believe that would be ref. And also we have got, as a Box fan, I'll celebrate the 6K as well, says it JP. Thank you very much, mate. It is a huge accomplishment, the fact that we've been able to grow this much in such a short period of time. And it is all down to you guys who hit that subscribe button. But now Malcolm Marks, can you meet us out here for the Springboks? Going to be throwing this one in once again. Mostert takes it, taken early. So it's going to be not straight. Not straight is the call. And that's going to be a scrum feed for the Wallabies. They actually win early there, which I would have thought would have actually ended up kind of overruling the not straight penalty maybe. No, I think I've got the rule wrong there, but it is going to be the scrum feed for the Wallabies here. Once again, Box can still win or not, but you guys still need to wait a couple of years to prove us different as well, says Dylan. And come visit me in Africa, Haiti, as well, says Ethan. Also, all these mistakes will be punished by the ABs, says Adult Entertainment. And at this stage now, it's going to be interesting. Can the Springboks give themselves another scrum penalty? They are only 4 meters out. And we have got there as well, we will drink from the World Cup, or we still drink from the World Cup as well, says Dylan. And also we have got their kick a drop goal box, says Centrist. And if they can get themselves another try, they need 2 tries in 3.5 minutes. If they get themselves another try and convert, they will be within 7 and get that bonus point. AB's going to play their C team for them as well, says TikTok. I'm not sure about that, mate. I feel like they will still need their A game for that game up against the mighty Box. But at this stage, the Wallabies have just played almost a near-perfect strategy in terms of using that back line, getting those offloads out, and really just pushing the pace of this match. Imagine losing twice to a country that doesn't even play Union as well, says Mark Morris. And the Springies haven't been straight this week as well, says Joe. And also we have got RIP Box and Get Drunk on Stream as well, says Luke. It's going to be fed in there. The Wallabies have got it at the back. It's a big push from the Springboks. And is it going to be another penalty? No, McDermott just able to pop out the back. He's going to be wrestled by Jesper Wiese, who's just trying to throw him to the side there. And it's a penalty to the Box, 5 meters out once again. They want the ball. They're looking for the quick tap. It's not available, though. It's stuck under everyone. In the breakdown, no one has their hands on the ball. They've taken it quickly here for the Box, and it's going to be Herschel Yankee surely giving it to Marks. No, it's Kitsoff instead. Having his legs taken out there. Malcolm Marks joins the breakdown. They are 5 meters short. Yankees now gives it back to Pollard. Sold the dummy in the end, and now it's going to be Makazole Mapimpi with a step, who is going to be tackled there. They are currently only 3 minutes left in this game. It's ripped away by the Wallabies, but they're going back for the penalty advantage. Okay, what I'm yelling at the moment. Getting excited for the final moments of this game. They are saying that this last minute should be enough for them to be able to get the win. The clock is ticking, and Andre Pollard going to be kicking for the corner. So they're going for the line out one last time in this one. Malcolm Marks, he will want to get himself the try. If they get it and convert, they will be able to get that bonus point, which could be absolutely crucial going into the later stages of this competition. I wanted to ask Kenny myself, but I'm sure as well as Dylan. Also, you are the easiest live coverage to find for me in Japan as well, says Dean. So it is pretty awesome. There we have got people from all around the world, and we are going to be covering a lot of rugby from around the world. We have got the next game between the Pumas and the All Blacks. Tell you what, Taniela Tupou. I'm not even Australian, but he needs a round of applause. He has been very good in this match. Once again, the Wallabies trying to defend this rolling maul. A lot more space for Malcolm Marks to get it going. They have been told to use it once, trying to get it going forward, but it is slowly creeping. Are they going to get told to use it twice? No, it is slowly marching forward. They have been told to use it now. Malcolm Marks breaks off the back here for the Springboks. Straight on the ball, though. Samu Karevi wins the penalty for the Wallabies once again. And Samu Karevi, a massive smile on that man's face, because Wallabies have just been phenomenal in the breakdown. Mauls have also been a massive flop, a big flop as well, says Berenice. And the perfect point to make there is they scored 3 rolling maul tries in their last match. And Samu Karevi just getting in that breakdown about 3 times when they've had the rolling maul. The Springboks, they haven't been able to get it going forward, which is why they're in that situation. Yeah, what's going to be an illegal clean-out, I believe. They're going upstairs to see whether or not it is going to be Jesper Wiese, I believe it was, who did end up in that situation of giving away the penalty maybe, and it could be a yellow card as well. Get a stick sponsorship. They'll give you some good stuff to show off on your channel as well, says Adult Entertainment. Yeah, this stage, I mean, it's a little bit techie. We've got a lawnmower 4.0 here from Manscaped. While we're going upstairs for the TMO, going to get it out of the box again because I have to mention, once again, it's very nice indeed. Samu Karevi is hit there almost by the shoulder of Jasper Wiese, I believe it is. But while we are looking at this one, got myself a little lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped. Goes for it, you know, it's got an LED light, got the little part at the bottom that really tells you how much charge you got as well. If you do want one of these lawnmower 4.0s from Manscaped, it is the pinned comment link, or you go to manscaped.com and you can use the code KiwiLads, one word, no spaces, all caps, and you do get yourself 20% off plus free shipping with them all. Try box as well, says Chrisio. Oh, Jasper Wiese might be suspended. Samu Karevi did go down. So Jasper Wiese went in, shoulder to the head of Samu Karevi. This could actually be a red card here to the Springboks, and he could lead to getting suspended, and he won't be available for the games up against the Boks, up against the All Blacks. He's on the ball, he's driving through. Contact with the head, with the shoulder, Jasper Wiese. That was not a time to do it, unfortunately, and it could have just cost him his game. Was spot for the Springboks in the next couple of games as well. Send him off as well, says Luke. And also we have got there Soul Pro as well, says Entertainment. And we have got there Dangy got a red card on 80 minutes as well, says Rio Gamer. And the thing is, they had already won the penalty there, the Wallabies. He came in from the side. He was looking at the ref, shoulder to the head of Samu Karevi, driving into that breakdown from almost the side as well. What are we going to get to see? Happy to have my prediction wrong as well, says John. And also we have got that's a yellow card. There was earlier contact with the head, but wasn't a red, says Ryan. Although the difference between those two was the fact that it was shoulder to shoulder and then the head to head with the earlier yellow card. So we're going to have to wait and see potential foul play. They're seeing whether or not this is going to be in the situation of being a red card. We have got there. There's got to be a red. How is that a yellow as well? Says Rio Gamer and red as well. A red from Cristiano. Maybe you guys have seen it before me. Poor discipline, says it was Forget Shadow Robot. And it's just, okay, they are going to give it as a yellow card by the sounds of it. They have decided that that's going to be a yellow card. And I think the saving grace for him was the fact that he did almost reach for the ball, I think is what they call him. But he's not going to be on the field for the last minute and a half of this game as well for Jasper Wiese. And he is going to be off Devo's a red as well, says those. And also happy for the Wallabies, says Senpai. And a grace to the game, that block as well, or that bloke, says the Luke. And also we have got who voted South Africa, says Adult Entertainment. Tell you what, I can tell you now, there were quite a few votes. 56% of the votes went to South Africa for this one, and we've had 1,500. We are also only 17 likes short of hitting the 400. So if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as well. We have been able to get into that situation of hitting the 6,000 on this one, which has been absolutely incredible. And we are going to be going straight over to our next live stream between the All Blacks and the Pumas as well. I will put this one back in the box. I do like the box. It's got a magnet, which I know probably attracts some of you guys in the chat, because we have seen George as well. He loves himself a magnet, carries one everywhere pretty much, and he will be a very happy man at the moment with this result of the game. We have got a donation from Steve Smith. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciate it. Super sticker as well, it says, but I will have a look and see exactly what it is. It is a fella turning around with a victory, as well as that emoji that Steve Smith has put in the chat. Thank you very much for that donation, mate. Hugely appreciate it there. We have got Rugby Guru looks sad now, says Johnny Blaze, as he possibly would, because the Springboks have lost both games up against the Wallabies, which is something that no one would have been able to call going into this one. We have got Brendan Roasted Biltong as well, says Bitterness, and also we have got Steve, get that sandpaper money up, baby. As well, it says James, and also we have got there, thank you from Japan, well done, Oz, says Ian Webbs, and Box Beat, and says Brendan as well. And also we have got Box unable to prove themselves, or prove they deserve #1 world ranking, says Lee. The stage, the Wallabies just going to wind down the clock, as they are saying, trying to get in there though for the Springboks, almost able to turn it over, are they? Have they got this one? They're going to be marching over the top. No, still on the side of the Wallabies. Samu Karevi passes it back. The Springboks would absolutely love to get a penalty, and Malcolm Marks not quite able to get it, just throws away Michael Hooper. 30 seconds left, and the Wallabies will receive a bonus point if they do get in the situation of this game staying the way that it is. I will take that down. It's a penalty to the Springboks. They're going for the corner once again, I would think, for the rolling ball. One more time. Good call, bro, as well. Earlier on in the chat from Forget as well. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you for the 10 commentary from Katie Dixon as well. And we have still got a total of 7 seconds left in this game. They're kicking for the corner, and this is for a bonus point for the Boks. We're in the fight for the bonus points. The Wallabies have a bonus point for being within 7. The Springboks, they need this try to get a bonus point for being within 7, I should say. The Wallabies got their bonus point for being in 3 or more tries ahead as well. Great Wallabies as well in the chat we have got. And also, do you have a mate that can join you to read or help with comments as well. Says Dean, normally I have got an assistant who is not George, who is George rather than Kieran, because of the fact that Kieran can't speak, sadly, for him. He doesn't really know sign language either because his hands are stuck on a rugby ball. But Malcolm Marks now going into the line-out once again. It's overthrown, and the Wallabies get this one. Oh, it's going to be Quade Cooper, the Springboks just rushing in. It's going to be a loose ball, and it's going to be claimed down. It's a penalty to the Wallabies, and they are going to be able to take the tap, kick this ball into touch for offside, and this will be the win for the Wallabies here. There is a bit of a handshake. Research, very happy man at the moment. Taps the ball, kicks it into touch, and the Wallabies go 2 from 2 up against the number 1 team in the world, the Springboks. We're going to have to wait and see what that does to not just the world rankings, but also to what happens in that game a little bit later on. But Suncorp, the crowd are behind the Wallabies here. They have done something that is pretty impossible to do, and that is beat the Springboks 2 times in a row. Easy win, and cheers for 3B as well, says Steve Smith. And hopefully we will see all of you guys for our next live stream. We are doing that. It's going to be between the between the Pumas and the Wallabies as well. What a game we've just seen. The brilliant lad, or the Kiwi lad, with the brilliant commentary as well, says Brendan. Also, we have got there, who would have thought a bonus point win? Tell you what, don't think many people were predicting it, but they were able to do it. The Springboks, they fought hard in some stages of this one, but unfortunately, the Springboks, they just got outplayed by the Wallabies. They did very well in that kind of running game. They decided to just keep on playing the ball around the Springboks, keep them gassing out. Now, we will put the link quickly to our next live stream. We will be transferring over to in about 30 or 20 minutes time. Sorry, that's good. You have you said hands on the rugby ball, dodge a strike as well, says Adult Entertainment. And also we have got there, very disappointed. Have a good Kiwi lad as well, says Dylan. And it's not the result that the Springboks would have been after. After. What's that accent? But it's going to... Not sure where that came from. I almost turned Geordie for a second there. Or kind of Jersey. Is it Jersey? I'm from New Jersey. Damn, the Aussies are just out here doing that kind of thing with that thing. Bonus points and stuff is the comment from George Meyer in the chat. And we have got there, superb call, Hamish, the lawnmower, Manscaped 4.0. If you do want to pick yourself up one of these and shave away your past self, this is the way to do it. Because of the fact, unfortunately, though, it wasn't on my face that I did use it, but you get 20% off with free shipping for the code Kiwi Lads, all in capitals, no space. 20% off plus free shipping. And also, if you are in New Zealand or Australia, you get an additional, maybe depending on the package that you get. If you get a bundle deal, you could get up to 45% off. Add our code on top of that. You're looking at yourself at a 65% discount, ladies and gentlemen. If you do want to use that code, we have got that. Thanks, everyone, for a great morning of entertainment. Have a blessed day and a prosperous weekend as well, says Ethan. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Appreciate you here. We have got Shave Your Balls on camera, Hamish. You want to guess who that was from, Mum?
Johnny?
No, that was from George. He's in the chat as well. See you soon, bro, as well. Says Adult Entertainment. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be looking through a few of the stats to do with this match. But then from here, we are going to be transferring over to our All Blacks versus Pumas match. Now, the thing that will save the Springboks is if the All Blacks lose to the Pumas. So there is a lot on the line, ladies and gentlemen. They weren't able to score any rolling maul tries, but they were able to get the one try in this match. Look on your arm. The only try scored by the Springboks in this one. Nice effort all round by the Aussies as well, said Nick. And also Hamish is acting like it's for beards and stuff, but it really isn't. I mean, it's for your beard downstairs is the best way of describing it, I guess you could say. And we all know that that can get out of hand for, in some regards. We have got Sweet As with the donation as well. All good. The mighty All Blacks. War Machine up next as well, says Sweet As in there as well. And Ikatel had a stellar game. Tell you what, in the midfield, we haven't seen him much throughout the recent little while, but he certainly had an impact in this game. Alina Ikatel scoring the 2 tries early on. Also, Marika Conan-Betty scoring 2 as well. And we have also got there, congratulations, Australia. Dave Rennie is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat there from William as well. And also we have got there by from Achilles. And we will hopefully see some of you guys for the match that is going to be taking place in a little while between the All Blacks and Argentina. We have got a new channel member as well. Thank you very much to Mike Webber, who signed up for the channel membership. Appreciate that a lot. And we have got there at the moment, that is the wrong one that I put up. And it's actually Gordon who signed up for the channel membership too. Appreciate that, mate. I had up there, Box need a new NZ coach from Mike Webb. But thank you very much for signing up, Gordon. What you do have now is access to exclusive emojis in the chat. And also you do help us in terms of providing some funds for the channel to be able to keep on doing what we are doing. But also I will mention, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you like a little bit of a podcast, we have got myself and an Australian are going to actually be doing a podcast. And something that's going to be a big talking point is this match. It's called the Rugby Down Under podcast. It is available on Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, I should say, anywhere that you do get your podcasts. It is going to be there, the Rugby Down Under podcast. That is, we have got the All Blacks going to be running all day with the speedsters they have for this game. And we have actually got the Australian big ass spot in the chat as well. It's a dribble as well. There's a big ass spot. It is indeed. They were able to get that bonus point there for the Wallabies. Outstanding call. The Wallabies have definitely taken the spring out of the box as well, says Tico. And it's probably, I would say, the worst possible time for that to have happened because of the fact that now we're in that situation. It's going to be the 100th match between the Springboks and the Wallabies next week. So they're going to have to make sure that they are rearing to go for that next match up against New Zealand, who could actually be number one ranked in the world, depending on how this one ends between the All Blacks and the Pumas. We have also got the Springboks play like this against the ABs. They might get pumped as well, says Nice Now. And also we have got their double trouble Wallabies at the well from Big Ass Sport. Boring rugby doesn't work in the Rugby Championship, says Sublime. And also the 100th test will show who is number one on world ranking. But we know this makes AB's number one as well. Says it is a Rio game. And also we have got now, I'm going to Super Rugby's Facebook page to read all the troll comments against the box as well. And we have also got the ABs are going to smash the box in the chat as well. But I do appreciate you becoming that channel member, Gordon. Anyone who does want to become a channel member, it is the join button on the main kind of page of the channel, I guess you could say. I'm not actually sure of the best way to describe it, other than I can put a link in the chat for you guys to be able to have a look at if you do want to become a channel member and help support the channel. There we go. That is the link to become a channel member on the channel. We have also got there. They're already ranked 5th as well, says John. So that's the thing. The Wallabies, they could actually be beating number one team in the world at home. They could actually almost, they're going to be 4th or 5th. No, sorry, 4th or 3rd. They might even be 3rd, the Wallabies, after this game. Absolutely huge for them. Big time there. What do you think of the box performance, Kiwi lads? Says Barry Green. It's worse on the scoreboard, but I think they played at times in this game a lot better than they did the last week. The kicking game, they were at least finding a bit of what they needed to. They were kicking it at more of a kind of length that was a kind of, I keep on describing things weirdly, but they were kicking the ball and they were contesting for the ball. Whereas for a few of the past matches, definitely that one last week, they weren't quite able to chase that one down. Mapimpi and Nkosi out on the wing got a little bit more of the ball, but overall, that yellow card of Faf de Klerk early on in the game, unfortunately, it was one of those situations. 2 Wallabies tries scored in that early stage, and the Springboks, they were able to get quite a few points as well. Lena Cattell scoring both of those tries in the early stages as well. Wallabies are 3rd in the world, as well as says it was Luke. And also we have got there a little bit earlier on in the chat, we have got Sean has said, impressive commentating. I see you live one of these days. My company, Grow Global Corporation, would like to sponsor you with a YouTube subscriber growth voucher of you. Would you like to accept? As well, says Sean. Global Corporation would like to sponsor you with a subscriber growth voucher. I don't know whether or not, I don't know really what that is, to be fair, but maybe if you do want to send us an email, we have got an email available on the About page as well. We have got a new member. It is Scott. Thank you very much for hitting that button, mate, and it is usually appreciated you being a channel member. You do now have the option of using those emojis in the chat, such as the George one, which is a very exciting one indeed. And we have also got there in the chat, Tate has a horrible accent as well. Says like Saxo, and also we have got there, if you match the box up front, you'll have a 70% chance of beating them. And another big thing for me, the Wallabies offloading game was absolutely phenomenal in this game. The try of Marika Korombedi, the first try that they did get, was because of that offload from Samu Karevi. And I said it, maybe because of the fact that he's been playing a bit of sevens, looking for a few offloads every once in a while, and it did work. Gave it to Pete Samu. White ball. Taniela Tupou had a brilliant game as well. He's almost got to be close to man of the match for this one. Just the effort that he put in. 78 minutes that man played. Normally he does 30 at the end of a game, and it's still dangerous. But Tongan Thor just kept on going. That man's got a gas tank on him and a half. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got, remember how England destroyed New Zealand in the World Cup semi as well, says Colin Manson. I believe a lot of people do remember. Of course, it was in 2019 that it did occur. But at this stage, I believe Australia may be able to go above England on the world rankings, if I'm not wrong, after this game. So that will mean that a top 3 would be possibly New Zealand in 1st, South Africa in 2nd, and then Australia in 3rd. 3 Southern Hemisphere sides all in the top of the world rankings. We have got looking forward to an Australia-Europe tour now, says the Snooze. And they are going to be playing Japan, England, Wales, all of those sides. Going to be pretty awesome to see that take place. Golden Betty man of the match, says Cabello as well. Very good shout out on that wing as well. Number 1, South Africa, says Rio Gamer. And we have got there, yes, in England, got beat in the final by South Africa as well. Our world rankings being nothing as well, says Colin Manson. But we have seen, the Springboks, they are the side who held the World Cup at the moment. So they have still got all the bragging rights up until we get to that next World Cup, when we do get to see who will hold it for the next 4 years as well. But we have got the Are You commentating the AB's match. Says Jane, and I am indeed. We are going to be covering that game on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be kicking off in 16 minutes time, but we may even start a little bit earlier because I'm in a very chatty mood at the moment as well. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one, and hopefully we do get to see a few of you for that game. But if the All Blacks have a big win here, maybe they can get in that situation of being past. We have got Colin Mason going back to the 2019. It said England destroyed New Zealand though. And I guess it is one of those ones, you accept your losses and you learn from them. So it's one of those ones, you can always look back at a game. I mean, we saw Bristol Bears, they lost to Saracens in the first round of the Gallagher Premiership. They weren't able to score a try in that game. And there was only the one try for Saracens. You learn from your mistakes, and then from there you keep on building. And that is what makes a world-class team. And that is why I believe the Springboks at this stage, they will be extremely strong up against the All Blacks. They will not go over lightly because of the fact that they will be in that situation of they will just keep on fighting the box. They will learn from the mistakes they made in this game. We've already seen the adaptation that they were able to do after that last game. They were able to get themselves into that situation of the box kicks. They were working a bit better here. And we have got there as well now, the sore loser Springbok supporters. We have 2 dead rubber tests to make their overrated magician Erasmus great again as well, says Pretty Boy. And also we have got you stream WWE, says a late show. Maybe in the future we could look at it on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, is the channel that we have got for most of our sports streaming. We haven't done too many other than rugby recently, but we will have to wait and see who is really the best team in the world, England, New Zealand, or maybe Boxtel as well, says Colin Mason, or Mason, sorry. And I guess it does depend on how you look at it, because of course, by the World Cup, France actually is a very good shout of being able to win that World Cup because they are at home and they have got a lot of young talent coming through. Some of these other sides, they've got a bit of talent, but they need to make sure that they keep on growing heading into that World Cup that is coming up in only 2 years' time. And that's the thing, now they're talking about having the World Cup every 2 years. So maybe we're going to get to see it even more often as well. Rugby World Cup, don't mean Jack, if you ain't ranked number 1 as well, says Murray Boy, and also Royal Rumble stream with Hamish as well, says Sebastian. Maybe in the future we could look at it. I believe that it's going to be taking place in January. And Go Fiji, says Lake Show. And also we have got their problem is that Springboks do not play for 80 minutes. All Blacks, on the other hand, plays 80 minutes and beyond, says Reginald. And we are going to get to see them play it very soon indeed up against Argentina. What a game that's going to be. Pablo Matera is going to be wanting a big game. He's going to be starting at 8 for this game as well. A little bit different. We have got there, England couldn't even beat Scotland in this year's Six Nations as well, says Lee Urtis. And also we have got, yep, David, we are strong, but surely we need better from them. Let's see next week, says Berenice. So hopefully, yeah, if you guys are keen on the match between the All Blacks and the Pumas, that is going to be coming up in a very short moment. We are going to be doing a little bit of a pre-match build-up to that one. And also we are going to be talking all about this match, what happened in it, and what we are going to get to see going forward in the Rugby Championship. So looking now at the table as it is sitting at the moment, I have not got it completely updated. This is before the match took place. So New Zealand sitting in first on 15 points with a game in hand. South Africa sitting in second, still on 10 points. And then Australia sitting on 9 points as they did receive that broadcasting. They just said broadcasting, that's why I said it, but they did receive that bonus point for being within the 3 tries or more. They were able to get 3 tries or more is what I was trying to say there. Rugby wins as well, says Chris. Running rugby, that is. And England often beat New Zealand as well, says Colin Manson. Although they haven't been beating too many other teams recently, other than the likes of the USA and Canada, I think, are their 2 most recent games that we have. Also got there. England had an 80-minute of fame in their 2019 World Cup. They still suck as well, says Lee. That was brutal as well. And David still love the box as well, says Berenice. And also we have their Wallabies can't beat ABs in their own game. But their style has a plan B compared to the Springboks. And we are talking about England for a little bit. So England are actually going to be playing Australia in a couple months' time. So that's going to be a pretty awesome game. Of course, the 2003 World Cup is one that many English fans remember for the big win for the English. And that one with the last-minute drop goal of Johnny Wilkinson. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not that will be the case here. Man of the match, in your opinion, Hamish, says Dude Imperfect. My man of the match, I've got to say, I've got a couple, but I am going to say Taniela Tupou. And the reasoning behind it is because of the fact that he put in a full performance out there on the field. Marika Korombedi and Lena Cattell also right up there scoring 2 tries each. But I think Taniela Tupou, he played 78 minutes, normally comes off the bench for a little bit of a super sub. He put it all out on the line there, set up the try, Marika Korombedi with the no-look pass as well. And we have also got there, they didn't bore when they destroyed New Zealand as well, says Colin. Also, we have got there from Jaden. England beat New Zealand fair and square in 2019, and us Kiwis have accepted that loss, but we learned from that, and now it's time for the boys to reclaim their spot at the top as well, says Jaden. Exactly right. I feel like looking back at just one game kind of as your kind of tally of teams is a very tough one to do because we've seen so much rugby since the World Cup as well. So you look at England, they're regrowing their kind of team with Marcus Smith at 10 is a very nice one that I do enjoy as well. But it is that situation of we're going to have to wait and see till the sides play off again. Like we have mentioned, England have grown from that game of the 2019 World Cup. They've grown from that loss up against the Springboks in the final. They have learned from their mistakes. And that is why rugby is so great, because of the fact that one week a team can lose and the next week the team can fix those problems. And then you're in that situation of having another very dominant side. World champs have been brought to their knees as well, says Reno. And also we have got, if I could become a member, I would as well, says, like, it is no worries though, mate, if you cannot become a member. It is only there for those who do have the funds of being able to do so, or do have that situation of wanting those emojis in the chat as well. English stream on says Choi. And also we have got their England but everything in beating New Zealand, but forgot the World Cup final, says Chris Seo as well. And also we have got their England haven't been the same since they thrashed us as well, says it was lax. And also we got the All Blacks have never lost more than two consecutive matches to England as well, says John Rio. So a little bit of a deep stat there. And also well said Patrick, says Lake Show. And also there it's going quick at the moment. New Zealand often live on past glories. I mean, you're just talking about England from the World Cup 2 years ago, Colin. So I'm not sure what you're on about in that regard, because you're kind of looking at a game from quite a wee while ago. But nonetheless, I guess it is one of those ones. England, they were able to beat the All Blacks. We accept that one. So it's one of those ones. The All Blacks are going to keep on trying to grow. And the next time they face England, they will try and have a different result. But England will know that they did get that one a little while ago as well. Of the 42 matches between them, New Zealand have won 33, England 8, and 1 draw as well, says John. And also we have got a lot of teams that beat the ABs, don't build off it. It's like beating the ABs in their peak. They lose form as well, says Lake Saxel. And that's something I always noticed from the Rugby Championship a little while ago, was the fact that we see Australia, they played very well against the All Blacks normally in past years. But then from there, they kind of end up in that situation of they go into their next games and they don't quite have that same rhythm up against the likes of the Pumas, as a game that we do see quite a bit of them getting it a little bit wrong. But we also got there, that's true as well, says Chris Seo, and incredible as well, says Lake John. Also, England have played, or haven't played the All Blacks, ain't World Cup as well, says Colin. I assume that is since the World Cup. There it is. But yeah, it's one of those ones. It's one of those ones. You can say that the last one went the way of England, which I think is the main point that you are trying to get at. I'm not sure whether you're trying to get under the people in the chat skin, although I'm not too sure what's going on. But we have got who's Six Nation champions, not England. They finished 5th, I think, England, in the end, if I'm not wrong, or somewhere around that mark. But we have also got there, where does South play New Zealand? Where does South play New Zealand? Hopefully not Suncorp. I believe it is going to be not at Seabus Super Stadium. I believe it is a different location in the Gold Coast, I believe. If I'm not wrong, maybe it's going to be the case there. And yes, Clay Cooper, Australian citizen as well. So the Boks are now ranked second, says Ryan. Not quite. I believe they are still first. But if the All Blacks have a big win over Argentina, which is going to have to be about a 30 or 40 point win at least, they might be able to just leapfrog them. But we'll have to wait and see, because a big point here is this is a home game for Argentina on the paper. So because of that, it does mean with a loss, if you are at home, you end up losing a few more points on the world rankings than you do as well. When does England play New Zealand? I quickly saw that out as well, says McKenna. We don't actually get to play them probably up until the World Cup. I think it's probably going to be the next time. They don't normally play them too often outside of World Cups, England, unless we have an English tour coming up, maybe not this year, but the year after, because we are going to be playing Ireland, Wales, pretty much everyone but England. I think England needs to buy a lot of Manscaped, since they are usually singing swing low as well, says Sam. So yeah, if you do want 20% off plus free shipping, you can use that code KiwiLads, all capitals, no space, and it does give you a 20% off plus free shipping on the manscaped.com website. We have also got there. Australia seem to be a major force again, says Colin. They're looking strong, Australia, like from this game and also from the last game. We've just seen they're willing to dig it in. And this one, that game in Perth didn't go their way up against the All Blacks, but the first two were actually pretty contested for a long time. And we always got there, okay, man, bro, as well, says McKenna. And also we have got the Six Nation champions. Worst record as against the ABs. Wales also beat the England regularly, says Alex Saxon. And also, yeah, my Wallabies won. I'm so happy as well. And the chat, but nonetheless, I will put the link once again to our next live stream. We are going to be transferring over to that match between the All Blacks and Argentina. It is going to be coming very soon. We are going to be doing a little bit more of a build-up to this one, I should say. And also we will be mentioning the two sides and what's not in that one. Also mentioning this game that we just witnessed, what it does to the table, all that good stuff. And nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And once again, I will put that link in the chat for you guys to be able to transfer over. And we will be starting that one in only 7 minutes' time. So hopefully you will all be there for that. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for the support on this live stream. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to hit that channel member button if you do want access to exclusive emojis, and check out manscaped.com. Code KiwiLads, 20% off plus free shipping. Rugby's overrated anyway as well, says Tommy. And also, England are the only Northern Hemisphere team that regularly beat New Zealand, Australia and South Africa. And go the Mullets from Lax Axel as well. I'll tell you what, it's a stat and a half. We will mention that in a short moment, but any player in New Zealand who has got a mullet for the All Blacks has actually outscored players without mullets by about 2-1, I believe the odds are in that regard. But nonetheless, I will transfer very soon, and we'll get a quick snack, and then we will be ready to go in 6 minutes' time. But nonetheless, thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one in a very,